Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Jenna Blackert,
And I'm Leonka Reyna.
and this is the How Hustle Mystic Morning Show. And today we are starting off the day with Quentin Green, and we've got some funny, comical things behind the scenes happen around that. And then we're going to continue today with Leonka and I talking about money energetics, and then we are going to finish the day with Casey Spear.
Yeah, she's going to be doing some channeling from Julius, and she's really phenomenal as well. But we've got a really great show for you today. Make sure to, if you're here joining us on the live stream on YouTube, you can also sign up to get all of the notifications, and you can do that at howhustle.com/summit. And when you get to that pages or follow and fill out the place where you can put in your text message, and you'll get just a simple text message that comes out in the morning. We don't spam or anything like that. And then also you will get to a page where you will be on our dashboard, and our dashboard is at houthustle.com/live. And that is where you're going to find all of today's things, all of the replays that we've had from the show. It's also the place that we'll be hanging out for the whole season. And the reason why I say that is because I want to let you know that we also are live every Tuesday and Thursday at 9 a.m. Pacific. So go ahead and bookmark this page and look for all of the updates that come out as well here, too. And you can find the special offers, is what I was going to say, is all the places that we're talking about, all those different links that everyone has been asking for. You can find these different special offers that the speakers offer on that page below their beautiful smiling faces with the button that says special offer. Again, it's just houthustle.com/live.
Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and get started.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So, a couple words about Quentin as we bring him up. Quentin Green is the founder of Green Health and Wellness Regenerative Detoxification Specialist. He is a healing coach, and after years of overcoming chronic illness through holistic detoxification and regeneration, he has dedicated the past 5 years of helping others reclaim their health naturally. His mission is to guide and empower you to heal deeply, restore balance, and step into your highest self. Welcome, Quentin. Welcome.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. We both had a chance to have a session with you, and we don't know how to pronounce it. So will you go ahead and talk about the work that you do with the eyes and how you diagnose with the eyes?
Yes, you would be referring to iridology.
Yes.
Um, Iridology is a technique used mainly in the alternative world of healing that enables the practitioner to kind of see someone's systemic health through the iris by analyzing characteristics, patterns, and colors in the iris, which correlate to different areas inside the body. So the iris is essentially a window into our insides. And everything that happens internally on a systemic level, on a deep cellular level inside each tissue, organ, gland, body system is relayed by means of the autonomic nervous system and displayed in the iris of the eye. And this has been taking place since the time that we are conceived. So
Mm-hmm.
your eyes are always changing,
Wow.
always reflecting what's happening inside your body, whether in 99% of cases it's tissue becoming weaker and heading the wrong direction. But when someone learns the art of detoxification, how to regenerate tissue and heal, you'll see the eyes change as well. But things are heading in the right direction when that happens. So yeah, both you ladies had iridology analysis, and I felt like they were fairly enlightening things
They were
for both of
really
you.
enlightening.
Yes.
It was actually quite profound. I mean, I came with some things that I knew specifically that I knew were weak, and yet I had, as a nutritionist, continued to ignore them. And I finally had a session with you that confirmed, yes, these are in fact weak, without me even saying that they were weak. You looked at my eyes and told me, here are the systems we need to work on. And I was like, yes, with a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was others that I was like, what?
Mm-hmm.
Like he saw that I had a left lung
Oh,
weakness
yeah. Yeah.
and a little bit of a thyroid weakness. And
Wow.
this is all things we can change with a detox. And I have done detoxes in the past and I've just gone at them and been like, I'm just going to trash everything and then build my life back. And I feel like I'm excited so much. I'm working with you on a 4-month program right now. And I'm so excited about it
Yeah.
because we started.
She's over here. I mean, I go on a trip soon, so I haven't started with her, but she's got me excited about her changes. And I'm like, okay, okay, okay. I'll look at it right when I get
Yeah,
back.
because I already feel different
Yeah.
from when I talked with you last Friday, before we got started. I mean, it hasn't even been a week, and you didn't even give me specifics until Monday. And I really feel like just me saying yes to this and knowing some of the things I needed to change already.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's like, hydrate, hydrate. And I added the lemon water was
Uh-huh.
another one of the beginning steps. But what I love, Quentin, is also there's this ease around the entry of this too. I mean, I wasn't on a lot of processed food, just the occasional thing. And that's one of the biggest things you have people take out. And I could see how if people don't even know what processed foods are, they they really kind of get tripped up around it. Do you want to talk? Because I even feel like some of the things that you gave me as substitutes for processed foods are still considered processed.
Before we go that far, just because we have a little bit of new people, I want
Yes,
to have,
yes, we do.
I know we're like, we feel like we go way back with Quentin already, but we do have some new people joining us, a lot of new people actually. So, Quentin, for that, will you give us just a little bit of history and how you got into this work? I think that's really fascinating and really speaks to the level of expertise that you have here.
Absolutely.
Yeah, well, I've been healing people for about 6 years now. I started doing that right after I wrapped up my healing journey. I've been an iridologist for about 2.5 years. So I was getting people better before I learned iridology. Iridology just helps me to get them better even faster, and more efficiently, more deeply. But how I originally got into this, I was brought into this world with extensive chronic illness. As a child,
Yeah.
severe panic disorder, generalized anxiety disorder, a speech impediment known as word blockage. I had OCD. I had chronic viral and bacterial infections. So right from the start, I had a pretty good idea of what suffering was like, even though I didn't really know it. And pretty much, as I progressed into my adolescent years and into my young adulthood, chronic illness just got worse and worse. It just it really overwhelmed my life. Anywhere I turned, I was dealing with some kind of suffering. A short list of some of the things I dealt with and have ultimately overcome and reversed. A lot of skin stuff, acne. I had a skin condition called tinea versicolor. I dealt with seasonal depression, what we know as seasonal affective disorder, chronic fatigue syndrome, Lyme disease, which is not from a tick, that is from a viral pathogen. A lot of chronic pain stuff, occipital neuralgia, sciatica, back pain, a lot of stuff in that area. TMJ as well, GI issues, of course. Who doesn't deal with GI stuff at some point in their life? And then ultimately, a really nasty 2 years in my early 30s dealing with neurological illness with
Yeah.
very random, scary neurological symptoms, numbness and tingling, weird jerking pain, migraines, insomnia, more
Mhm.
anxiety, all the sensitivity to light and sound. So that last neurological illness I dealt with, when everything in my life, toxin wise, pathogen wise, just came to a head, and you find yourself in what we know as neurological illness. Um, that's what ultimately got me on my real healing journey and to really dive deep and to try to figure out how to heal, and ultimately what led me to helping others. So yeah, for anyone out there, if you're suffering, I can certainly relate to anyone that's really under it, and I'm not saying I have the same stuff as everyone else, but I certainly knock out a lot of them when people come to me. I can always find some kind of illness, condition, or symptom that I can directly relate to.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of the things that what stood out to me, I'm going to ask two more questions because I know that y'all are going to go into a lot of the nutrition, but
Okay.
the I want to talk about the people that you have helped. So because I thought that's super fascinating and you've had some really amazing success stories. But I also wanted to address I forgot the second question, so we'll go ahead and go into the people that you've helped. Tell us a little bit about the types of people that you've really helped in this way.
Well,
Oh, the
I
other,
keep
hold on. Let me ask this real quick. The other thing is that you said to me, you said many times, and you said it on the last show too, many times when people sit down with you, they'll say, I don't have anything wrong. And then you start asking them questions, and then they're like, well, I do have this thing. And for me, same thing. I was like, well, I do have this belly thing and da da da. But you also saw that in my report. But I didn't realize that many people don't even realize that we're walking around feeling like we just, we have ailments and we're just overlooking them. And when you sit down with people, people are saying, oh yeah, I do have this, I have that, and I have this. And then you can go into more about how you heal them. So let's just talk about those two things. Thank you. Sorry.
Yeah, well, I don't think it's a matter of people not knowing they have things going
Uh-huh.
on.
Yeah.
Uh, they know it. They just choose not to acknowledge it, or they brush it under the rug.
Yeah, that's me. That
And
was
by the
me.
way, that comes from, early on in life, most people are sent to allopathic doctors. And most people were brought up, our age, people in the 80s and 90s. And you went to the doctor and you kind of just, did what they told you. You had stuff wrong with you, and there was never any mention of you can heal from this and get rid of this. It was, well, you're kind of going to have this for the rest of your life. Just deal with it.
Yeah.
So I think we've been kind of groomed that way,
I think our
to
parents did
where,
that too, where we always went to school kind of sick, or we just learned to
sure,
just, oh, walk it off, right? Or just, you're fine.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
you got, I was told my anxiety, like, well, you're just going to have anxiety forever. Just take these pharmaceuticals, take these antidepressants, and
Yeah.
just kind of deal with it.
Yeah.
Like that was it.
Yep.
Like nothing else after that. So I hid my anxiety. I tried to just brush it under the rug and act like it wasn't a big deal, and I wouldn't tell anyone
Yeah.
about it really. But
Yeah.
that's just one of many things. So people deal with all kinds of stuff. Um, they just don't care to actually look at it and recognize it's a problem. They'd rather just, especially men. I will say women are much better at voicing, like, hey, I got something going on here that's lowering my quality of life, and I'm not
Yeah.
okay with it anymore. Men will go really far when it comes to, not getting the help they need, not voicing their suffering, and just sucking it up.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, it's a big problem. I wish everyone would just take note and be like, look, I got, life is short here. Like we don't
Yeah.
have a lot of time here. You want to feel as good as you possibly can. You don't want to
Yeah.
deal with stuff that's lowering your quality of life. So uh, that sometimes that's half the battle. You have to address what you have going on. Like, look, this is just the facts of it, the truth of it. I'm suffering with something, and either I'm going to work to get it better or I'm not. Because clearly, most doctors we go to throughout our lives don't have the answers. But the
Yeah. We're
answers are
learning
out there
that.
if you start looking hard enough.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Did you want another question?
And the other question was, you have had lots of success with the people that you have helped. Can you take us through a couple of different case studies or some of the things that you have, helped people heal?
Love it.
Sure. Well, this morning, actually, just before I came on my Instagram and Facebook, I posted a new testimonial. His name was Bob. Bob was 71 years old, and we completely reversed Bob's COPD. It is my first
Really?
COPD.
Really?
I've been waiting for a COPD client to enter my life, and I finally got one because I've got a wide range of illnesses, conditions, and even now some cancers that I'm have under my belt in terms of healing. So I was very happy to post that COPD healing. He was on an inhaler, couldn't go for a walk without his
I
inhaler.
know.
Now he's jogging without an inhaler. He can go up stairs. He had
Mhm.
flu numb feet that are now completely gone, no more blueness, all the
Oh
feelings
my
back in
gosh.
them. He had awful blood work, and all of his blood work is now looks great. So
Hmm.
that was a nice one. But look, some of the things that, the common ones I fix are your chronic fatigues, your brain fogs, your anxieties, your depressions, your stomach issues, your skin issues, your sleep issues. These are all very common things that people are dealing with. Some of the
Hmm.
different conditions I've helped people with and got them better from. Trigeminal neuralgia was a really big one. All your autoimmune diseases. We
Yeah.
do a lot of
Yeah.
thyroid stuff, Hashimoto's, hyper. That's all very common stuff. All your blood pressure, high cholesterol, blood sugar issues. So there's nothing that once you learn how the body really works, and you learn uh, the art of detoxification, what is actually going on, and how you get your body cleaned out, and how you start to build tissue back up. There's no condition, disease, or illness that's off limits. There's nothing anyone
Right.
comes to, and there's nothing unless you come to me with late stage cancer. I'm not worried. I'm really
Right.
not.
Hmm.
I love that.
Anything can be healed. Anything.
Yes.
And,
Yeah.
and most people don't understand that. So yeah, I mean, a wide range of illnesses and conditions that we've worked with and gotten better in people. Head through those testimonials and you'll see lots of different stuff.
Yeah.
And we find that on your Instagram page. I mean, I just find it fascinating. And I also found it super liberating. One of the things that when I first was talking with you, before we had even interviewed you, when you were talking, I finally felt for the first time like we weren't just sitting ducks. Like we could take back ownership of our health. And that was like a light bulb went off for me because one of the things that I would fear was like maybe cancer. And I'm like, I remember the day I was like, we're just like sitting ducks then. Like
Yeah.
we're
It's
just like,
everywhere.
or
Yeah. You're
like we're
gonna
just,
get it.
1 in 4. Okay, which one of us is four? Like I didn't feel like I had any control over that. And now we're learning with epigenetics, like with our outside environments controlling sometimes. It not being hereditary and just the only cause, and then other ways of just healing. Learning this information from you, I was like, oh my gosh, we do have control. We do have the ability to control our fate here. We don't have to be just sitting ducks waiting for some illness to affect us and then, just dealing with it for the rest of our lives.
Mm.
That's empowering. And I just hope people understand what this really means here. That's all. That was my
Yeah.
PSA.
I guess I didn't even have that mindset because I have a degree from nutrition when I
Yeah.
was 20,
Yeah.
right? So I've always had this underlying, I
Yeah.
knew that nutrition could heal.
Yeah.
And I also knew when I wasn't eating clean that it was my body was really taxed. Like I could tell if I'd go 2 days with just eating junk, maybe we would be on a trip or something and we'd have car snacks and stuff. I could tell the difference. So I've always had some good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And me not having that nutrition background at all. And I
Yeah.
have I
People
grew.
just like turn a blind eye to it
Mhm.
entirely. They don't even know how to read labels, I feel.
No, and I
Yeah.
grew up in a family where we don't look at. I mean, I grew up in a Hispanic family where like they're pushing food on you, right? It
Sure.
doesn't. I mean, I love it. It's a form of love, right? But at the same time, it's like no more tortillas, please. Like I can't do it anymore. But and your grandma's like, here, you don't eat.
Yeah.
But and so we never looked at stuff like that. I mean, and especially the men in our family generationally never look at stuff like
Yeah.
that. Even they can be. My grandpa had struggled with COPD very much so, and so it was, he couldn't. He said, I remember he couldn't breathe at all. So when you say that you have somebody that's really healed from this, like that's so liberating, and that's again, I just
Yeah.
wanted people to have that a little bit. Oh, Joe says he feels guilty.
Guilty. Yeah.
He's saying he's like, I've been, yep, guilty. I've been
Well,
guilty
and
of that.
sometimes the crap food is the cheapest food,
Oh, it
right?
is. Yeah.
Right. So it's just easy for you to just grab a McDonald's hamburger.
Now we can change that though, with more people wanting to look for better choices.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, what I have fallen in love with you about is the way and the practices and the art almost of how you do this. because it seems I haven't done the whole program and I don't know how it's going, but it does seem like you know a way to get into the body so that the body isn't like, oh my gosh, you just took me on the master cleanse and then we're absolutely miserable. It's like kind of a slow detox. Like
Yeah.
here's a little bit, here's another more, here's another more, here's the next layer. Do you want to talk a little bit about how you have, crafted the whole program, from the diagnosis all the way through the detox? So it's really specific to each person. It's really customized.
Sure. Well, first of all, it's taken me a couple years to get these protocols to where they are.
Mm-hmm.
Early on, I was learning still as I was coaching and learning how other people were responding. So it's been years that I've been working on these protocols to get them right to where they need to be. And then we can certainly individualize them for each person with what they're dealing with. Also, what I found was, slow and steady wins the race. There is no rush. First of all I need, my standard program is only 4 months long. That's not that
Mm-hmm.
long. That's 120 days. That's not a lot of time, but that's all I need to get someone pulled out of whatever they're dealing with and on the right path. But I like to use every bit of that 4 months. So we start nice and slow. There's no reason to rush into a deep detox program. People are generally harboring a boatload of toxins and poisons inside their liver. Uh, a lot of these detoxes I see people do are completely, just really, really bad. And they detox too quickly. They force their liver to release excess amounts of poisons and toxins when the body's not capable yet of getting rid of it. The kidneys aren't
Wow.
opened up. A lot of stuff is going wrong. Pathways aren't open up yet to get rid of that stuff. And the liver is forced to go back out and pull all those poisons back into it. That's something that's very hard on someone's liver, and it's very bad for them. And some people end up in the hospital, from some of these bad detoxes that they do.
Uh-huh.
The truth is, no one knows how to detox. Right? I see all these influencers and everything. No one
Yeah.
has a clue on how to properly detoxify a body. And there's a lot of dangerous stuff out there that are getting people into a lot of trouble, with their health,
I agree
and
with that.
not just that, a bad detox can scare someone away from natural healing.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
I've seen that as well. I've seen someone, I've even, or in my past, I took one client a little bit too quickly, and they were fine, but they were dealing with some definite detox symptoms, and it kind of scared, they couldn't handle them, and it kind of
Uh-huh.
scared them away. So I learned that over the years that, it's nothing wrong with going nice and slowly and working in deeper into tissue in the body and
Mm-hmm.
detoxifying slowly. Start getting stuff moving on the surface, and then just work stuff into it so you get deeper and deeper in your detoxification and healing. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, yeah. Well, right now I'm like on this mega hydration fit, and I need it to be because I used to drink, right? And we were talking about, heck, maybe my body just feels a lot better now because my brain is actually hydrated. It's not like I wasn't drinking water at all. It's just like I wasn't drinking it like I am. And I think, when you commit to doing things, you're creating change for good, right? Like you, Quentin, are creating change
Mhm.
for us so that we can do it forever, is
Yeah.
what I should have said.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this is
I mean,
like a way that I will
It's a
live.
new,
Like
yeah.
I will know how, what my bodies don't like, and I will know how to really heal for my entire life once I'm finished with this
Mm.
program, is how I
yeah,
feel. And I feel like I'm in really good hands here after having a lot of conversations on the show and in, you know, in
sure.
Zoom
Well,
form.
look, I mean, what we're doing here early on for you is we're setting your body up for success,
Yeah.
in the long term. We're getting your body ready right now. We're getting it prepared. But
Yeah.
yeah, a little extra hydration is going to help. By the way, I don't want people to think you just have to start drinking water or lots of lemon water. You start feeling there's people
Well,
who you could drink all the water you want, and people are still in a state of chronic dehydration because of their diets.
mhm.
The
Oh,
reason I
Right.
think that you're noticing this too with the hydration is because we made a couple little dietary changes.
Yes.
The
And
diet makes the hydrate. Everything works together
It
synergistically.
does.
Everything feeds off of everything else. So every little change we make means something.
hmm
And then as what you were speaking to in terms of long term, when I started this, I wanted to be a one-stop shop. Like that's it, done. Like you don't need to ask anyone ever again after me why you're struggling with something, why you're having a symptom, why you're having a new illness pop up. Uh, I like to make my clients, their own health experts.
Yes.
You know how you got
Wow.
sick. We go through that in
Yeah.
detail. What happened? What'd you get exposed to? What was passed down to you? What was your lifestyle like? What's your diet like? Everything matters. So my clients know how they got in the situation. Then obviously they go through the program. We teach them a lot. Like you learn how to get out of this. You learn what you're doing with your dietary changes, with your cleanses,
Oh,
with the
I love
herbs, with the
it.
supplements. You learn, and you can actually visualize your body healing. Like you think about the toxins inside of you, the pathogens, knocking them
Yeah.
back, detoxification, and that's half of healing. You have to have the right information. You got to know what's causing something, and you have to know why the things you're doing that are making it better, why they're doing that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
It's
once
very
that program's
intentional.
over, a person is set up for success for the rest of their life. Like
Yeah.
it's very hard to go back. Once you get yourself healed up and you feel like you're healed and your life gets better, it's very hard to go back to the way you used to eat and the way you used to take care of
I
yourself
imagine.
and kind of revisit the chronic illness you were dealing with. It's too hard. Life gets
Yeah.
too good. And my clients generally make this a lifestyle to some degree. And I teach them, everyone has a different expectation for what they want their quality of life to be. Some people take my program much further. Like they love it. They just want to take it further and further and reach insane levels of consciousness and healing and happiness.
Wow.
Other people, they feel better and they're happy with that. And they want to go out and have some more bad foods and do some things that aren't the best for them, but that's okay too.
Right, because they
It's
have the tools.
I
They
Yeah.
I
now
can't
know.
I can't decide for a client when they're done the program, what their quality life is going to be. I give them all the tools. They know
hmm
how to take it further. They know how to heal. They know what they did. It's up to them for the rest of the way. So
Yeah. But yeah, you can go. Do you have something?
No, I was
Oh,
just going to say that makes total sense because now that even if let's say I did the program and because I do plan on doing it and then I want to go have like Mexican food cheat days, whatever. First of all, I would now have enough wherewithal and information to make much more conscious decisions. Second, I can make that place from a total place of choice, right? Cheat days, whatever that looks like. And then the other thing, the big thing that I find again liberating is that now there's the education piece where I can come back and know that I can make better choices, right? Like I have the ability I now have the education and I now have the ability to make better decisions going forth, right?
Yeah.
So wherever that is, and that is the continuum of life anyway. So that was what I found really
Yeah.
remarkable.
What this sounds kind of sadly cruel to myself. One of the things I'm kind of excited about is seeing as my liver starts to detox and as my kidneys start to detox, what comes up emotionally. Because I know that things will come up. Yeah, and I've done this in the past where I've taken out something and I feel incredibly unfulfilled. It's not that I'm hungry, but I feel incredibly unfulfilled. Do you, Quentin, help people with that as well? And, I mean, I feel like that's a lot of what happens with why people won't change their eating habits on a regular basis. So she said cheat days. I kind of don't like that word, to be honest. If you're going to have a cheat day,
sure.
it
Well,
shouldn't be called a cheat day. It should be just called a reward.
I don't know what to call it.
Yeah, I don't
I
know.
don't have those because I just do whatever I want right
Yeah,
now.
I know. That's how I was.
Well, look, when we talk about why someone wants to eat what they want to eat and what they're choosing to eat, everyone has a different path, obviously. It all depends a lot how much someone really wants to heal.
Heal.
You
Yep.
know,
That's it
if
right
you
there.
if
Yep.
you really, really want to heal, my clients who come to me that are absolutely desperate, I tell them what's no good, what I don't want them to do. When they listen and they have
Yep.
no problem doing it.
Yeah, because they're
Um,
there.
Well, I
Now
just
look,
did that today. I was like, well, I've had a little dairy, and then you gave me this cruel ass message over where it's like, nobody can heal on dairy, mucus forming.
And I was like, yeah, that makes
It's
sense.
bad.
yeah.
I mean,
Well,
in some way, it's probably as bad as processed foods.
well, look, I can't change the way things are. I can't change. Okay, are there foods that I wish were healing that aren't, that are actually bad for you? Absolutely.
Yeah.
I wish I could change the way our bodies are in that way, and some of these bad things weren't so bad for us.
Yeah.
But also, Leonka, to what you said about cheat meals and things, look, it's my job to work healing into my client's life. We just went through the holidays, and you know, it's tough through the holidays. So I expect my clients to maybe have some things here and there that aren't the best for them. What
Sure.
we do though is we teach them how to make better choices. So when they
Yeah.
are not putting things in their body that are, aren't the best for them, at least they're not doing something super bad. Like it
Yeah,
might be
that's
they
it
do
right
something to help
there.
negate. And we also there are special things we can do the day before, the morning of, the day
Oh,
after,
okay.
like
Hmm.
when you're not taking
See?
care of yourself well on a
That's what I
Saturday
meant.
night, there's things we can do that are going to negate those bad decisions.
And
Um,
that excites me.
the
Yeah.
idea is though, and also you have to have when you're trying to heal, you got to have a short memory. If you make a mistake, you foul up, you go off track with the diet, whether it's for one meal, two meals, or a whole day, you have to have a short memory. You got to forget about it, and you have to come back stronger, more disciplined,
Mm.
with more desire to heal.
Mm-hmm.
Because look, life is tough. We are surrounded by all types of foods and substances that are, very, very appealing, but a lot of times they're not good for us. They're not good for healing, and they're going to keep us sick. So it's a very tough world out there. I go through it
Yeah.
myself. Life is a balancing act for me now when it comes to healing. I make healing pushes, then I tread water for a while when I try not to get worse, but I'm not getting much better. It's just the way life is. And look, no one's getting out of here alive. I tell
Yeah.
people that, with what we're up against in terms of environmental toxins and things we're exposed to, you know, chances are I'm going to get some kind of cancer or some kind of disease. And that's what I'm ultimately going to die from. I'm not going to be dying in my sleep naturally. That doesn't happen anymore. I've been up against too much. Too much stuff has gotten in my body, and stuff will continue to get in my body just by living in this world.
World. Yeah.
So the
Yeah,
idea is
yeah.
you want to get yourself as happy and as healed and your quality of life as good as you can while you're here, and then try to extend your life as much as you can. And not to where your end of your life is lousy and you're sitting there suffering for the last 10 years of your life. The idea is get yourself to a really good place and keep it there until it's your time. That's all we can do. That's
Yeah.
all I can do. It's all anyone can do right now because we're just up against too much.
Yeah.
Hallie, it was funny when you were saying that. One of the things that came up to my mind was, Steve Jobs, the whole thing about Steve Jobs, like being such an innovator and, such a bright light, love him or hate him or whatever. But like, it's undeniable that he had innovation, right? And
Yes.
he took high levels of success. But one of the things that he could not do was save himself from,
Cancer.
yes. And we can go into all the reasons and all the stuff, but and that was kind of where I was coming to that place where like, I don't have any control over this, but we do have much more control. We just never took the time to like look for the education for it. And
Yes.
here you're giving us some of the key insights that you have learned through your clients and through your own life. And I think that you're trailblazing here, right?
Yeah. Well, and just to take it to the energetic side,
Yeah,
because
there you
that's what
go.
we do talk about, and a lot of our audience is on board with that. Why is detoxifying a physical body important for your channeling, for
Yeah.
greater
I'm glad you
consciousness, the
asked
whole
that.
thing, right?
Uh-huh.
Well, it's important because, like, one of the things Quentin said is that I'm probably having sleep issues because my pineal gland is, well, he didn't say calcified, but it's weakened. And so we're doing things to help my pituitary gland, which does melatonin, serotonin, but they've also done new studies where it actually helps you, connect to the field in a
Yeah.
greater
Yeah, yeah,
way.
yeah.
Right. This is
Mm-hmm.
some of the reason that I'm excited about it. What I'm also excited because I know your body stores all the emotions and the energetics in you. And as I
And
detox,
traumas, yeah.
I will go through stuff. And as I go through stuff, I will grow and I will become more aware and I can help other people become more aware and change lives in my way, like Quentin changes lives through helping bodies feel better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let me touch on a couple of things there. First of all, God bless everyone with bodies that have amazing natural healing mechanisms.
Hmm.
Um, Nobody knows how to ignite those natural healing mechanisms. God gave us bodies that have an incredible ability to detoxify and regenerate tissue. Um, no one knows how to do it, and so once you learn, everything changes. So let's talk about the emotional aspect real quick of healing. Uh, our liver is so critical with that. And as you go through a detoxification program, a proper one that's going in and cleaning stuff out, when you start to open your liver up and you start to free, you know, in our livers, when we have traumas and stress in life, those emotions are buried. They're tied up with the adrenaline that's released during those times. And those emotions, along with that adrenaline, are buried into our liver to keep us safe because usually we're dealing with too much to deal with it right now. So we have traumas and all types of things stored up, emotional hardships stored up in our livers. And when you start to clean out that liver, you release and you get deep enough. You hit some of these, one of these traumas could have been from 20, 30 years ago. And once you get down deep enough with your healing, and all of a sudden you have a fit of anger, real sadness, that is that detoxification of that emotional trauma with that adrenaline that was tied into it from decades ago. So it's incredible how your body detoxes and how you will have emotional healing that way. Same thing with something like PTSD, which is actually damage to brain tissue from corrosive adrenaline that's
Wow.
created in excess during periods
Right.
of really intense trauma. And
Right.
that adrenaline is very corrosive, very acidic, and actually scorches brain tissue.
Mm.
Which
Wow.
is what we know as PTSD now. And
Mm-hmm.
we can go in
Uh-huh.
there and when you start to repair that brain tissue, you start to clean things up, detoxify the brain,
Wow.
get the brain heat down, your PTSD goes away. I suffered from two PTSDs and I don't even, I don't have them at all anymore. No dreams, no nothing, no things remind me. So
Wow.
the body's
Wow.
ability to heal
Is
physically and emotionally is incredible.
yes.
And when you talk about the pineal gland, which
Yeah.
is your sleep, that's your melatonin production, your sleep cycles. That is another gateway, as you talked about. But look, we have to go in and detoxify and regenerate your pineal gland tissue,
Right.
and sleep gets better, and a whole host of other things. When you detox, we're supposed to be incredibly conscious people, very high vibration. And some people experience that deep into healing. I've experienced it before, deep into healing pushes. Um, when you get your body freed up from toxins and you get all the pathogens out, you get the inflammation out, you get the acids out, you get the petrochemicals and the poisons and the plastics, all these things, what they ultimately do is disrupt and inhibit the flow of energy in the body.
Hmm.
We're very electrical beings. We have a nervous system that's like our light switch, and our nervous systems are all down. They're not functioning well because we're packed with junk, and it's destroying our ability to move things around the body. The flow of energy is really compromised in humans. And when you unlock those things and you get energies moving around and things open up, you have clear pathways. It's amazing the levels of consciousness that one can achieve.
Absolutely. Well, and that's why I'm all in, but I couldn't have been in before now, basically. I do feel like sometimes you just really have to ask your body when it's ready to detox. We've got some great questions on the chat here. Do you want to read a few?
Sure. One of the questions was let's see, would it be safe to
do a liver detox
while dealing with colon cancer. And then Renee asked, so do you suggest waiting until you're going through a current crisis before detoxing?
Uh, so when I detox a body, when you detox a body properly, you can't just pick out one part of the body. The whole body is going to detoxify when you're doing it properly. So yes, I mean, a liver is absolutely critical when it comes to any cancer. So, but so are other things. So are the kidneys. So is the lymphatic system. So is the immune system. So is the adrenal glands.
Yeah.
So if someone comes to me with colon cancer, like all hands on deck, like we're going after everything, you know, including that GI tract and colon, obviously. You know, because a colon cancer is a viral condition. It's a virus feeding off of toxins in her colon, which will give her a colon cancer. But to answer your question, yes, you would want to go after your liver along with everything else with colon cancer. It's certainly something that you can get fixed up. Absolutely.
Great.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And then what about if you're dealing with a current crisis? Should you wait before detoxing?
There's no better time to detox.
I was thinking. Yeah. Don't let it settle in the body.
Like if you're going through something, like detoxification is going to make it better. Like it's going to heal whatever's happened. I don't care what it is.
Yes.
You know?
We have to remember our bodies are conscious. And so when we're talking about from the spiritual aspect too, there is a level of consciousness that our bodies contribute to this life. And we can be spiritual all day long if you want, but it is a co-creation here. And so when you're dealing with something, you can actually change the outcome of those things. You know, not that you can control other people or anything like that, but like you can change the way that you feel. And so the way the rest of the world responds to you then in and of itself changes. And that also includes the body. There's another question. It says, there's a level of detox that, is there a level of detox that is okay while breastfeeding? That's a great question.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, there's a lot that goes into this, and I don't want to get into all the things with breastfeeding and stuff like that, but it would be absolutely beneficial for mom and baby if mom was on a good quality detoxification diet. No question about it. You know, it makes for that breast milk to be even more healing and powerful than it already is.
I love that.
Yeah.
I want we've been talking a lot about the program, but the first step here is to have that first reading with you. And when I first I had some reservation because I was like, what can you know about the eye? So I really want people to really just take that first step and know that this is a really cool, interesting science that you do here. Can you talk specifically about taking that first step with you and what they experienced just in doing that? Well, I mean, that alone is...
We talked a little bit about it
so amazing.
The beginning. One of the things that I read after I think had you on the first time was that our eyes are literally part of the brain. It's the only part of the inside of us that is exposed. The next thing would be the mouth. And I thought that was fascinating that it's, that this is literally a part of our brain. I just thought that was really cool.
Yeah, well, look, I mean, back to what you were saying, real quick, an iridology analysis is where my clients get answers. That it's kind of a combination iridology analysis consult, where we look at their health questionnaire, very detailed questionnaire on symptomology, what mom and dad and grandparents were dealing with. We take that, we look at the eyes, we put it all together. And that is the moment where a client gets answers for what's been causing their problems their whole life or the last couple of decades or whenever. So that's what I love most about the iridology analysis. I get people answers, and you could hear it in their voices. You could hear hope come back in. Some people just start crying because they know what I'm telling them. It resonates with them immediately. And I don't even, I don't need to sell them on anything. They just know most chronically ill people like myself, my whole life, I knew that I was missing something. I knew my doctors were missing something. Just something I
Yeah.
couldn't put my finger on it.
Yeah.
And
That's it
I
right
didn't think
there.
my body was faulty. I didn't really believe I had bad genes, and I just never could buy into it completely. I always had that underlying feeling that something else is going on. And
Hmm.
let me tell you, I was absolutely right. Most
Yeah.
people have that feeling who are chronically ill. There's something there that they just can't
There's
put their
something.
finger on. Their
Hmm.
doctors haven't gotten them the right information. They don't know.
Yeah.
So the person can't heal because you can't heal without the right information. And
Hmm.
that's what you get in iridology analysis. And whether someone works with me or not and heals with me, I don't care. I just like to
Yeah.
get them their
Yes.
information, and then they can go do, if they think I'm the right fit for them, then great. But if not, at least they have an eye. At least someone told them what's probably really going on here for the first time in their life.
Tell me
Yeah.
some of the couple of examples of the things that you see in iridology.
Well, so we do have some questions that I
Okay.
think you've already answered in another show. So
Well, that's why
one of
I
the,
brought it up. I wanted to bring it
So
up because that's what
two,
was super important
great.
last time.
Yeah. Well, two people have had tinnitus, and they're talking about tinnitus on the chat that they've developed this ringing in their ears. Do you want to talk a little bit about specifically healing around that?
Well, the first most important thing is that they know what's causing it. They've got an
Uh-huh.
underlying strain of Epstein-Barr virus creating neurotoxin and viral waste that's kind of inflaming those ear canals.
Okay.
Uh, Nerves down in there are very inflamed from a virus. So they're
Uh-huh.
dealing with a viral condition when you're dealing with tinnitus, ringing in the ears, and things of that nature. Also very closely related to vertigo and dizziness. You
Hmm.
get viral inflammation of those nerves up there in the ear canal, the cranial nerves, and they can have that condition. They should know that they could absolutely fix it. And there's a lot of things that they could be doing naturally to wipe that condition out.
Yeah. And I mean, and that's true about any infection. I was telling you that I was taking Domanos to kind of get rid of a bladder infection, and you said I had some sort of, ongoing bacterial thing that we could
Yep.
also work on detoxing out of. And I think the herbs that you have told me to get, they're probably the ones that'll really help with that.
Yeah, well, whenever I pick herbs, I pick certain healing foods, certain supplements. They're always
Hmm.
geared towards what that client's dealing with. So,
Hmm.
Uh-huh.
for the person with ringing in their ears, yeah, I'm going to put them, if that's one of the leading things that's lowering their quality of life, we're going to give special attention to it.
Okay.
Obviously, we're detoxing their whole body. There's other issues elsewhere if you're dealing with tinnitus. But if they say that's something that's really, really bothering them, there are special things we can do, special foods, special cleanses, special therapies, herbs, supplements, things we can do to target that condition right off the bat, and work on getting rid of that for them as soon as possible. So
Hmm.
so their quality of life gets better. In your case, we're talking about that. It's had some GI issues with the streptococcus bacteria down in there. So we can go after that. There's special things we can do, special things that we're going to target that area with.
Hmm.
Yeah, I love it. It's exciting. One of the other questions asked if your technique is based on Dr. Jensen.
No,
Oh,
it's
okay.
not based off Dr. Jensen.
I don't know.
No,
Okay.
well, yes, in terms
I
of
didn't think it was
iridology,
based
yes.
off, yeah, it was really based off years and years of knowledge
Yes,
from these other
Dr.
teachers.
Jensen is considered to be kind of the father of iridology in some
Okay.
Okay.
ways.
Okay.
So, but
Right.
there's many different types of iridology. I do what's called lymphatic iridology.
And
Okay.
that's what I
There's
wanted you to
different types
get
of
to.
iridology
Yep.
in Germany and all different areas.
Yeah.
Thank you.
What is one of the most common things that you see with every client that comes to you?
In their iris,
Yeah. Is there a common everything?
absolutely.
Yeah.
I see a ton of adrenal gland weakness.
Okay.
I see a ton of lymphatic system weakness.
Hmm.
I see a lot of liver issues. I see a lot of kidney issues.
Oh, sorry.
Hmm.
In women, a lot of thyroids as well. So, some ovaries, but not so much. Um, Also, a lot of nervous systems that need some work, which are tied with the adrenals. So I'll see a lot of
Uh-huh.
nervous system stuff as well. There's also I see a lot of bad GI tracts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Overall, though, I'd probably say the adrenals might be the weakest gland in people's bodies this day and age. If I
Mm.
had to pick a body system, I would have to say that the lymphatic system is really the most fouled up area in humans these days. And if I had to pick an organ, it's going to be the kidneys or liver.
Mm.
Okay.
Which a lot of
Yeah.
times is missed by the doctors.
Well, I know that I
Sure,
had a lot of
sure.
lymphatic. I That was one of my biggest ones on the list was lymphatic. Is that related to
Well,
acidosis, or?
the lymphatic system relies on people's kidneys to filter out their lymphatic waste properly.
Hmm.
So usually any lymphatic issue starts with kidneys and then skin and sweat, known as in Chinese medicine as the third kidney, which is your other way of getting your lymphatic system cleaned out of those acids. That's cellular metabolic waste, which the lymphatic system is responsible for dealing with. People who don't know the lymphatic system, that is your sewer system. That's a system in your body that deals with your cellular and metabolic waste, which is your acids. You know,
Uh-huh.
so a lot of lymphatic system issues, but that always comes with the kidney issue. We have beaten up our kidneys in this world like no other. These
Right?
high protein, high fat diets are kidney destroyers.
Okay.
And so I see a lot of lymphatic weakness. You're backed up, and that's basically what we call chronic acidosis. When your lymphatic system is backed up with your own acids, that's what we know that's true chronic acidosis. And any individual dealing with cancer, dealing with disease, dealing with chronic illness, you bet your bottom dollar that your lymphatic system needs some work.
Mm.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And by the way,
Wow.
everyone is on this lymphatic massage. It's one of those trendy things. Look, do I like lymphatic massage? I like it for someone whose kidneys are open and filtering. You
Hmm.
can't just go do
Ah.
Oh, I
lymphatic massage
see.
and be on some lousy diet with kidneys that are banged up, not filtering out your lymphatic waste and get any benefit.
Mm.
Uh-huh.
So enough already with the lymphatic massages,
Yeah.
please.
Well, you
I
said,
like it, but
yeah.
it's not going to fix your lymphatic system. Neither is rebounding.
Oh,
Okay.
I do want to give
Yeah.
time to look at his special
Special offer.
offer.
Yeah. What would be, so I know that hydration, you said that doesn't work sometimes when you don't have the certain foods to go with it. Can you talk us a little more about that? And then I'd like to open up for you to share your special offer.
Well, very simple. Humans are chronically dehydrated because of our diets. Uh, you know, More people are on high fat diets than actually think they are. People think they're on moderate, to get all the other people overdo good fats as well.
Hmm.
All the fats and proteins, they lead to a chronically dehydrated environment because your liver is responsible for producing bile to break down your dietary fat. When the liver gets weak, sluggish, and stagnant, which most people's is at this point, the liver loses its ability to produce good, strong bile to break down your fat. Fat starts to escape into the bloodstream, and you end up with dirty, dehydrated, slow moving, gunky blood that has no oxygen present in it.
Uh-huh.
And all the water in the world is not going to change that. You've got to go in and fix your liver and get all the fats and get your blood cleaned properly, and that's a liver issue.
I'm excited
Okay.
about
Yeah.
doing.
So
Wow.
right away, when people go on my diet, when we start changing, they become more hydrated. They notice that they're going to the bathroom a lot more. They're
Yeah.
urinating a lot more, and some of them haven't even started drinking more water. They just change their diet. They become immediately more hydrated because we
Wow.
start to fix their liver up. We start to get their blood cleaned up.
Hmm.
We start to hydrate them the right way so they have oxygen in their blood. And by the way, something like Epstein-Barr virus, talking about a viral pathogen, toxins, they thrive in a chronically dehydrated environment. They love when there's no oxygen present. They cannot,
Wow.
an Epstein-Barr virus
Uh-huh.
can't survive in the presence of oxygen.
Okay.
So we are chronically dehydrated humans because
Yes,
of
we
our
are.
diets,
Yeah.
and
And that
not just that,
makes
other
it look
things
like
bang up our
dementia
liver
and
too.
brain fog, and it causes a whole host of other things that just mask as other things. We were talking about that yesterday. My grandmother not having enough water, and I'm like, y'all need to get her a bag of fluids because she just moved away a little bit further away from me, and we would notice that she'd be like night and day, right? Like she'd be like full on dementia, couldn't remember our names. We get her a bag of fluids, and her color comes back. She's like back to like, hey, she's cleaning, doing
Sure.
things. But
Yeah.
and that just a little bit showed me how chronically dehydrated I probably am. And now when I hear you talk about this, even if I drink a ton of water, I may not even be getting that oxygen back. I'm thinking,
Mm.
yeah, I can see some
Right.
reason why I'm walking around with brain
Right.
fog and
Well,
forgetfulness so easy.
Right,
look,
because it's all
also
stuck
too,
in there.
yeah, if let me, two things go hand in hand.
Mm,
Chronic acidosis, chronic dehydration. If
okay.
you're acidic and backed up lymphatically, chances are you're chronically dehydrated as
Oh
well.
man.
You know, can you
Yeah.
imagine an environment inside your body where your sewer system is down? You know, you're not getting rid of all your own cellular
I
metabolic
know.
waste. That's staying in the body. At the same time, you've got blood that has no oxygen in it. You know, it's full of fat and junk. Like you wonder why you don't feel well.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
by the way, your whole body's made up of three things. You have a bunch of cells surrounded by interstitial space. In that space is two fluids. You have your blood, which is your transport system to the cells. Then you have your lymph, which is your transport system away from the cells. Feeds the cells,
Hmm.
cells go to the bathroom, lymphatic takes it away. They're your two major like pathways. Like you want your blood to be really good, strong, clean, and you want your lymphatic fluid to be good and be able to take away that stuff.
Yeah.
That's where everything starts right there.
Exactly.
Wow. Oh my gosh. I feel like I now my system is just all stopped up.
It
It's
is.
like and you
It is.
can't yeah.
Yeah.
And you basically can't detox until you get the system, some of the systems going
And
first.
we can't lie to you because we already had it. We already
We already
had
had it.
No.
we
We
already
already
had
had you tell us that we were both acidosity.
you've
Yes.
already seen our irises.
Both of you
All
ladies
right.
are in chronic acidosis and
Yes.
chronic dehydration.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Let's just call ourselves out on the show.
But look, the nice thing is it's easy to fix when you start
Yeah.
doing the
Yes.
right things.
Yes.
Absolutely. You could fix it right
I'm
up.
excited about
But
that.
but you are correct. You have to get the pathways opened up to detoxify effectively. You
Yeah.
know, if I have someone with 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 dementia, for example, and they're dealing with that's toxic heavy metals in their brain, deep down in brain tissue, for me to go in there and pull those metals out effectively, I at least need their lymphatic system working well to transport
Yeah.
those metals. That once we dislodge those metals, pull them up and out, I need them going out
I
through
can't
those
wait.
Yeah.
kidneys, out the lymphatic system and through the kidneys properly. Or I can't get them better if I don't.
Yeah. Now I'm excited because
I
I
know.
feel
I'm
like I'm
like,
going to be like bouncing around
I
like a
know.
20-year-old again.
I think my body's happy because I'm like, I can't
Yes.
wait. Like, I'm like,
Yeah.
so
Renee has an interesting question, but I want to even take it further than this. My question is, from the iris, can you tell if there's something that is significant enough that they would need to go see a real doctor? Like with the left lung weakness, I asked you, I said, is that something that I need to go get a chest x-ray on? And Renee asked, like if she's got the Epstein-Barr virus, can you tell how long she's had it? By
Well, a couple things here. First of all, yes, there have been times that I've looked at an eyes and I told an individual I would go have that looked at.
Mhm.
It has to be very, very. So in iridology, I can see stages of weakness in the organ and gland. I can see what's known as a subacute weakness, an acute, a chronic, or a degenerative. If I
Mhm.
were to see a degenerative weakness in
mm-hmm.
some part of tissue, a thyroid, a liver, kidneys, wherever, I
Mhm.
would, I've seen a degenerative weakness in breast tissue before, and
Yeah.
had that young lady go to get that checked out.
Uh-huh. I
And by the
see.
way, I'm anti-imaging for most things.
Yes.
People get there's
Wait.
nothing good about imaging in terms of
Yeah.
your chronic health.
Right.
Radiation is bad. It's all bad. So for me to
Yeah.
tell someone, it's got to
Yeah.
be to where I'm like, all right, this could be a real problem here. At least have, some blood work, and I teach them how to get blood work as well. So there are times when I see something. Uh, Epstein-Barr virus, I cannot see Epstein-Barr virus in the iris. You can't see a virus like that. But I can generally tell by what a person's dealing with, how long they've had it, or, but most kids had, people had mono when they were kids and didn't even know it. So
Hmm.
mono is
Yeah.
obviously,
Yep.
but there's multiple strains of Epstein-Barr virus too. There's over 65 strains. People are getting mono. They don't even know they have mono sometimes as kids. Sometimes when people get mono in their teen years or college, they've
Yeah.
already had it before. They just didn't know it, you
Yeah.
know? So EBV is a real problem. Hence, almost, I would say 19 out of 20 people will show past infection of Epstein-Barr virus if they just go get simple blood draw.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a massive problem right now. It is behind all these autoimmune diseases. It's behind a lot of cancers, a lot of these symptoms. EBV is very prolific right now. It's mutating rapidly as it feeds off different toxins that we're getting into our bodies.
Interesting. Wait.
Yeah. I mean, you got to think about it from an energetic standpoint too. It's like
Yeah.
literally feeding off. Yeah. Okay. It's just
Can't be good. Can't be
nope.
good.
Fabulous. Let's
And
go
we
ahead
learned yesterday we've got some conscious work to do, people. So let's get healthy.
Yeah.
So we can feel good and go do the things that we are most called to do.
There's no better time to do it than now. It is
Yes.
wintertime. Holidays are done.
Yep.
Best time to do it.
Yeah, it really is.
So Lianka twisted Quentin's arm to get the best offer for this, and he's been willing to share it with our audience. Quentin, do you want to? We've talked a little bit about this at the beginning, but talk about what specifically, if they would book this session, how it would go.
I'm so happy we
Yeah.
did ours.
I
Yeah.
am so too. I am too.
Well, it's fairly simple. I mean, I send over some directions on how to take an iris photo.
Mhm.
You can do it with a simple cell phone. You get me some good iris photos. You get the health questionnaire filled out. There's a couple things there. I have someone go over before the iridology analysis to help them be prepared. Some things about the kidneys, the lymphatic system, a couple basics I like people to know. But then we just dive right in. All I need is that health questionnaire and the eye photos, and we sit down and we get that person some answers.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then after that, we would talk about what a program would look like if they wanted to do some healing. But like I said, the iridology analysis and consult, it's just about getting answers and getting some hope back.
Yeah. You would say it's like a 90-minute. I feel like it took us like 90 minutes to get through
Generally,
everything.
You could always talk.
60.
Look,
Over an hour.
I could talk about health for a long time. So
I think
depending on how much time we
for a long
have,
time.
and look,
Yeah.
if a person's dealing with a lot of things, generally it could take a little bit longer.
Yeah.
There's more things for me to cover. Overall, it takes about an hour to
Yeah.
sometimes
Yeah.
45 minutes, sometimes an hour and 15, sometimes an hour and a half, depending on if we just start chatting health after it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oops. I'm going to go ahead and put this link in the chat. It's $197 to just book the diagnosis
And you
session.
get a two
But then
pay
and you get a 2-pay
if you need it.
if you need it. When you go on down here, you can go ahead and hit this little scroller, and then you could choose a 2-pay if that's easier for
But
you.
you can go ahead and get booked for the $99. Schedule that up, and then the second one would be in a month. My other thing I wanted to point out is that before I twisted Quentin's arm to get this special offer for everybody, this is in-depth work, and just getting this done, the value of that, normally I've seen a consultation be as high as $600 just to get the type of information you're providing. You do it for about $300, with all of the things, and today he's offering that up to us for $197. So I definitely, and for a limited time. I mean, it is for it does take his time, and so we have to be honoring of that. So if you feel called, definitely look like afterwards, and maybe that's a good way for them to also get some of that questions answered as well.
Sure, we take care of all
Dana.
that in a call or during the iridology analysis. We'll talk about the program.
Yeah, and it's custom.
what their knowledge is
Yeah.
in the kitchen, shopping, all that stuff factors into whether someone needs 3 months, 4 months, or
Makes
sometimes five
sense.
months.
Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, but generally, I'd like 4 months to get someone straightened out, healed up, and prepared to finish their healing off on their own and have a whole new life. I think 4 months is a good number. And by the way, 4 months is not that long. I tell
It's
people
not.
we've been accruing these troublemakers. The real reason we're so sick and dealing with so much stuff now as humans, these toxins, these pathogens, these things have been accruing in your bodies from the time we were conceived. Mom and dad passed down their troublemaker loads into the baby. So obviously it would take longer than 4 months to fully detoxify a body, most average bodies. But we get a lot of work done in 4 months, and we set that person up to finish off their healing if that's what they want to do. But as you see, most of my testimonials are between 2 and 4 months of real legitimate healing.
Nice.
Lots of healing.
Right.
So they start feeling that way, like right at that, like early. That's what you're looking at. Right. That's really
Sometimes
great.
7 to 10 days, people will have their first healing symptom and sometimes their first detox symptom.
Yeah.
Everybody's some people's bodies are so toxic and they're so just junked up and so fouled up. Just a very simple, tiny little change could make them start to detoxify.
I love that. Thank you.
Wow. All right. Any final words that you have before we wrap up this call?
I always close with this. If you're struggling and you've been struggling and you're questioning your body's ability to heal, stop. I promise you, God made your body so it can heal. Your body wants to heal. It can heal and it will heal. You just haven't gotten the right information yet. You haven't gotten the right protocols. And when you do, you're going to find that your body heals just fine and you have a whole new life ahead of you.
Fabulous. Well,
thank you.
Thanks for being the Hustle
right,
resident healer.
Yes. A couple comments from the chat. It says, thank you, Quentin. Thank you so much. Very informative. Thank you so much, Quentin! Exclamation point. Thank you so much. Very informative with hearts.
With hearts.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. And from this other chat, thank you. That was so insightful. Yes, it was. Thank you, Quentin.
Wow.
Thank you, everyone. And Leonka, I expect to hear from you soon.
Yes, you
Program's
will.
starting soon.
Yes, I know. I'll be back from Hawaii. I know. In time to start the program, so that'll be exciting. Yeah.
All right, very good. I'll talk to you soon.
Yes.
Great. Bye-bye.
Bye, ladies.
All right, you guys, stick around. We're going to talk about money.
Money. It's one of our favorite subjects, and it's not that it just has to be money, but it is one of the ones that if you can get past it, I don't say all this stuff. Yeah, I'll say all this stuff in a minute.
Especially if you can really create from that essence of what your purpose and your soul truly is. Just a few announcements that we've been trying to put into everything is we have a special Hertz event enhancer. It's 8 hours of Hertz frequency designed from a sound engineer. So if that calls you, it's only $8. You can find it on the website. You can find it in all the upsells for any special offer. It's at houthustle.com/frequencies, but it's also on the live page at houthustle.com/live.
Yeah, and I think everybody should at least, if nothing else, just grab that because it is beautifully designed. It does change things. We're calling it a summit enhancer, but it's something. But you don't have to use it for the summit. I use it all the time.
Use it for your life.
Yes, and sometimes when I'm feeling really anxious and before I go to bed and I'm always doing the things, right? But I will let that play kind of in the background. And I swear we wake up, because my husband and I, he doesn't even know it's on, wake up differently. I know that I feel so much more calm and like I have a sense of something, can't put my finger on it, but I know that when I have that on in the background, even if I'm awake, it gives me this sense of peace. And because we know that sound frequency heals, it also has all these other added benefits. So that's one of the, gifts really, because it's worth 130 at least. It's 8 hours. So we definitely suggest you at least go grab that.
Yeah. Also, with all of the special offers, we also have chakra frequencies, which is very similar, except they're designed to spin and open each of your chakras. And I usually say ask your body to see which one you need to play for either program.
Yeah.
But if you're called to having more sound frequencies in the background of your life, we've got 2 programs for you that will also contribute and support How Hustle.
Sure. Wanted to also remind you that a portion of, speaking of contribute, right? Yeah. A portion of the proceeds go back to support, we always believe in giving back. And so we wanted to find different youth and women related causes. Right now we are doing, supporting riseup.org. So a portion of the proceeds that we get are supporting riseup.org. And riseup.org is an organization that takes in used laptops and tablets. And it was funded by students, by kids. And they take those, they refurbish them, they make them look all great, and they put them in some cute packaging that says Rising Up. And then they give them back out to other students and people in need. They also are taking up collection for people that don't, like kids that don't have the money to do like book fair. So we are able to gift the teachers a gift card so that the kids that don't have the money for a book fair, so that they can go and select something that day too. Because, we want everybody to feel accepted and wanted. And I think Rising Up's doing a great job of that.
I love that.
Yeah. The other thing too, I wanted to point out is that you can always, we always want all the love. If you wanted to share and like and subscribe on our YouTube channel. And so you can find, all of our episodes there, but, and join us.
Most of the episodes. We do take some down, some of the summit.
Yeah. What I meant is that, the live, we want you to join us and continue to join us for each season. And so we do a live show every Tuesday and Thursday at 9 a.m. Pacific. And most of them all go up to that site. And you can also find us anywhere where you find your podcast. So that would be Audible, Apple, Spotify. We are also rebroadcasted there too as well. So just wherever you see us, just do a like and subscribe. And if you feel called, share.
Yeah. Absolutely. We have some visions and we'd like you to contribute with them. So after the summit, we are going to put a survey out to see who your favorite speakers are and if you have any other recommendations.
Yeah.
So make sure that you look for a survey coming at your way after the summit.
Awesome.
Yeah, I always part of it.
One of the things that I love about us is that, like, no matter what we're doing, I always call the show, the live shows, and these summits like a free resource, right? Mm-hmm. Like that's the first and foremost, but we're really creating a community here. And so this is co-created with you. And so having that information back on that, what speakers you want, what was some of your takeaways, also let us know what those are. This is being all co-created with you guys. So you get to let us know what you'd like to see, right, in this co-creation.
Absolutely. Let me start a new recording for us to do our show. All right. Are we ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Okay, guys. Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Jenna Blackard.
And I'm Leonka Reyna.
This is the How Hustle Mystic Morning Show. Today, it's just me and Leonka, and we are talking about the energetics of money. And I'm really feel that we have become the experts of how to create based on your desires and how to create wealth from within. And so I feel like there would be people out there that has no idea who we are. And so I want to start a little bit with our background together, our individual expertise, just so that you have a minute to really realize the depth of your host here. I feel that oftentimes consciousness just takes us on a ride and we don't know where we're going to end up. And I feel that we both have been on such a ride
Yeah.
as far as exploring consciousness, exploring online business, exploring whatever the next thing is that the universe puts in front of us, whether it was channeling or Notre Dame or hypnosis or QHHT or Akashic Records or hands-on body work. We have together all these things that the universe keeps nudging us towards and saying, hey, you might want to look into this to become a greater healer, to become
and share on it.
Yeah, a healer, a therapist, whatever you want to call it, right?
Yes, and money coach.
And money coach, which I feel is like coming really high on our resume lately. The amount of people that we work with and talk with about like simply looking at these places of unworthiness and these places of, oh, I had a client recently where it's like some of the points of view in her head around it were her parents' point of view.
Right.
It wasn't even that she even thought she even had her own point of view around money and how money came or went. It was just, well, it is this, you just work and you do this job and money comes.
Yeah.
And it's not exactly like that, especially after Amba Jam's conversation about what happens when you have a spiritual awakening.
Exactly.
So we're talking about how to do money once you've had a spiritual awakening.
Or on your spiritual path, how to work with money and have more money, generate money, have money love you in a spiritual way. And so I think this in a conscious way. And I think, well, let's just jump into the accolades, right?
Yeah. So we've got 8 things that we're going to talk about today.
Yes.
And we do want your participation in the chat. We'd love to hear some of your struggles. We're going to process with you, give it all to us, and we will just, take you there. We'll just process you through and see what's really going on.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Janice, why don't you start with do you want to start with a little bit about your story?
Yeah.
We don't have to go too far into it because we tell this often a lot, but I do think it's important for people to know.
So I had an awakening in 2005. I was working a corner office at Dell Computers that I was really proud of at the time. And I had had a surgery previously in the month, and I was struggling. And I was also struggling because things were different after the surgery. And I basically thought it was the drugs I was on. Later, I really feel that was my true awakening moment, whatever we want to call it, whether I'm walk-in or not. The jury doesn't really matter if we label it.
Yeah.
So I had, after going through this spiritual awakening, went back to my corporate job. And things just started getting really bad. Things were already bad. I was already saying when I went into the surgery, well, when my husband asked, hey, she could die, I was like, okay, well, that would be fine. At least I'd be under anesthesia and get out of this world pretty easily.
Yes, right.
So things already weren't great. I was depressed. I had anxiety. I felt like I was doing the daily grind. I was like that Zest commercial. Zest, it's the daily grind, but at least I've got zest in the morning or something like that. So that was kind of a glimmer into my life. And that was back in 2005. And so basically the universe kicked me out of corporate after that. I've shared the story of when people were asking me stupid questions in the bathroom, like the whole drama and everything. Once I got kicked out of corporate, I kind of started being nudged and guided. And I wrote this book. It's called 7 Dragons, A Guide to a Limitless Mind. It was channeled. It was inspired. It happened in 90 days.
That's
from
amazing.
When I wrote the first word all the way through getting it out into press.
Wow.
It was an Amazon bestseller.
Nice.
It really took a life of its own. In fact, people were like, you should do courses on this book. And people are still telling me that. So I wrote that book in 2007, and that was kind of the beginning of it all. talking about money, then that's when, yes, the book took a life of its own, but it's not like people were buying a book and then saying, hey, can you be my coach?
Yeah.
So book monies were just like hardly anything. So then I went on a journey on how to grow an online business, teaching this stuff, teaching us how to deal with the dragons in our mind and how to deal with, all these resistance. And then go to show years later, dragons show up a little bit different. We can go linear in the story. But that's where it all started. So I started to find ways to make money. And some of the ways that I found to make money was to interview people and to get in front of their sales and their special offers, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I've had my products of my own, but that was really my way to really get that money engine flowing. And I wouldn't have met Lianka if I hadn't been doing some of this work at the time. So
we'll go into that too.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Do you want to share that? Or?
Sure. So, I'll share that in a little. Go ahead.
Okay. So, I mean, technically, I think we're almost at that spot.
Okay, so
depending how long we want this.
No. Okay, so my spiritual journey was very similar. And kind of. I worked in corporate. I did all the things. I really grew up in a troubled house. My mother was a drug addict. My father was a drug dealer. And I was beautifully blessed with two grandparents that took me in. I ended up being a child that my mother was very depressed. And so I took the word out at like the age 7 of my vocabulary of the word depression. And so as such, yes, I had a very successful growing up. I chose to be opposite of my parents. I was always very studious. I did all the things. I got all the accolades. I got straight A's. I did all the things. And I was a very joyful kid. I know now that I understand different spirituality, that I chose my parents because I knew that I was going to come in and be happy. I even have the remembrance now of choosing my parents and being like, look, but she, despite all that, she's so creative and he's so smart and I got this. So I was I've always been a very happy person, very happy kid. And then when I got went to work, I was working in radio and television for about my career spans about 17 years. But through that process, I started to become very just almost resentful of the way in which we were doing business and the way in which the transactional life, business was really happening. And I found myself really not loving where I was in life. I had got married, had my son. I wouldn't even see him ever. I was missing something. And during that time of right when I met Jennifer, I was pregnant, I decided that I was going to get my certification for life coaching and I was going to walk away and start my own business, right? And so I remember I was like, how's the fastest way to break into a new industry and get new clients? And it was, at that time, I was like, I'm going to go to a networking event. Yep. So I went to a life coaching networking event, which I'd never been to. And I've been in corporate for all this time. So
I didn't do it very often.
And so I see this lady at the beginning at the front of the room, and it was Jenith, and she's talking about doing business, right? And that's what I went to school for business, right? Mm-hmm. And she's talking about doing business with all the elements of the earth, wind, and fire. And I'm like, what? Yeah. What is she saying? What is this woo-woo stuff? Yeah. But what she was saying was really resonating. And I thought, And all of a sudden I heard this voice that was not mine. It was very declarative. It basically said, you're going to work with her. And I go, huh? And I said, and I looked again, and I had this vision, this image, and I go, I'm going to work with her. And it wasn't it was just one of those things that was okay. And so at that time, I didn't even know what it was to follow my guidance, but I knew that she had gave us these cards that said that she was doing a telesummit, and I didn't know what a telesummit was, but she said that I can listen and find out more information about this woo stuff. So I was like, okay, so I'm listening in. on the telesummit, right?
Basically.
Kind of, it's really this setup,
Yeah.
but back then it was
Just on the phone.
yeah, it was podcasting before podcasting, right? So this is how she was doing her business, and I'm listening, and she's talking about having a live event here in Austin. Well, one of the things that I did really well was produce live events and produce them on a mass scale for advertisers, right, in radio and television. And so she's talking about this big event, da 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 da, da, and I'm thinking, well, great, I'll just volunteer, and then I can get some more content, right,
Yeah.
learn some more stuff. So I write her, I send her email, and I guess to what Jenna says, I stalked her. And
Well,
she finally told me,
worked.
yeah, and she was like, okay, fine, I'll meet with you. Because I worked in sales, so I knew just kind of stay on it. I didn't think anything. And so she invited me to come meet with her. And the first thing that was funny was that she didn't live that far from her office and her house. It wasn't that far from my house. And so I drove over there and we talked for a little while. And I'm like, and she, I'm telling her my experience, and she was like, great, I'll hire you. So she became my first client, if you will. And she's like, and you can produce the whole thing. And I'm like, what happened? So we started working together, and we did create some really amazing and revenue generating events and live events here in Austin. And the magic around that was just so amazing. And so lo and behold, I did get pregnant, and my husband ended up getting a job at Nike, and had been working together. And so I had to move to Portland, and we thought that was a good place for our life. And while we're moved, it was harder for us to continue to work together in that space. And I think now I know I had to grow in my own way. And during that time, I became a certified QHHT practitioner. And I'll go into this really quickly, but basically I went and did my first session, and this is QHHT is taught by Dolores Cannon, and they do a lot about healing, and you can get past life regression. So I go in, I'm all timid. I don't even know, what is anything about this stuff, but I knew that I had this fear of my child dying. And so it was really hard for me because I was a new mom. So I go and I lay down, and I'm in this room, and I'm not really into the woo, but I had read all the books. And the lady starts to take me under, and all of a sudden I go past, past consciousness, past to a white light, to this room that I describe as kind of being like the Star Wars room, right? And it's like, and this man, I see him there, and the lady's asking me, so she's like, okay, what else? And I was like, and I remembered I had said that no matter what I saw, I was going to tell the truth. And so, and so she goes, well, does he want you to come over there? And I was all scared. And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, well, what is he saying to you? And he says, he wants to speak with me, and he wants to speak with you. And so I was telling the practitioner. She says, okay, well, can you ask him about himself? And she says, so I ask him, and she says, well, what did he say about himself? And I said, he said his name is, and I couldn't even say the name. I said, he said his name is Nostradamus. And I'm like, what am I talking about? And
it's
we
funny
go.
How this work opens you up, doesn't it?
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
So, long story short, after that session, we went on to do many more journalistic sessions where I have channeled Nostradamus, been on a starship through the QHET sessions, channeled way showers, opened up my own channel, and now teach others how to open your channel, how to connect with Source, and how to use your Akashic records and QHHT to connect with your higher self. And to do all this with generating more money in your life and more ease. So a little bit about your accolades. I'll turn it back over.
Yeah. So after we met and we did some events together, we had a little hiatus between us, and I went on my own path, and I ended up working with a Beverly Hills celebrity hypnotherapist.
Nice.
And learned hypnotherapy. And the way that he did it. And it was really, really enlightening for me to realize how easy it is to change our belief systems by going into a visualization. Well, and I'm a writer, I think, by innateness. So I like to write. So it was really, and I like to go into, imaginary land.
Uh-huh.
And I always have. So
Uh-huh.
I've written a novel. It's called Falling in Stilettos. So there's two of my raw books out there, and I have some collective books as well. So I already like to go into the visual and create the stories. So being a hypnotherapist was just incredibly fun for me to say, okay, here's the kind of suggestions that we need for somebody who has this thing.
Uh-huh.
And then I got to craft and create from a hypnotherapy way. While I did that, I also took every single class within Access Consciousness and learned how to talk to bodies and work with bodies and stuff like that. And I mean, it's just deep. But most of my work, even the hypnotherapy work today,
Mm-hmm.
really works with you in session where you're in an alpha state. So still very aware,
Mm-hmm.
but you are literally seeing the energetic patterns within inside of
Nice.
you.
Nice.
And so I pretty much say, well, this is living inside of you right now. Let's see if it's even yours to live with or set it free. And we just kind of follow the energy in a very somatic way. And I also, since we've been working together in How Hustle, we did a summit, and my channel came online, and it came online very, very strong.
Yeah.
At the beginning, and it is an Arcturian guardian dragon family.
Yeah.
And so these Arcturian dragons they call themselves guardians, and I'm a high priestess within that, so to speak. It sounds very crazy when I say it that way. They are, often will come through, and I do these dragon voyages, and oftentimes then I'll channel Ormetis, which is the name of my high priestess channel group or collective.
When you say it says, when you were saying that, I was like, try telling people that you channeled Nostradamus.
I know.
That sounds funny when it comes out of my mouth.
It sounds really significant when people are, I channel Jesus.
I know.
I channel even Mary Magdalene in a way. There's significance put on that. It's a lot more fun to just go galactic and go out dragon.
Yeah, I thought so. But then I finally was like, no, that is exactly what happened. And it was in a journalistic report, so I have to own that and keep coming out with it more. How does that benefit people today? Let's talk about what we're going to do today.
So we've got eight big categories around money that we want to talk with you about today. And I'd love one of the guests already put in one of their worry struggles. You can put in any of your struggles. This doesn't have to be around money. What are your challenges? And we'll work with you a little bit. But when we looked at this and really went into both our channeling states, the Akashic records, and we were really truly playing with the energy of what is this weirdness with people and money on this planet, what we came down to is there's this collective program around worthiness where it's like on some level through almost every hypnosis session one of us have gotten to, they might not say these words exactly, but it's this kind of energy of I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy to receive. What else would you say that, sometimes it would be my product isn't good enough. And maybe that's why I can't sell. But that's still yet a justification to who they actually are being underneath why their product isn't good enough. Because probably they're like somebody that was the older me that just liked to slap something against a wall and see if somebody would buy it.
Right.
Or and I didn't even trust in it myself that it was good enough to be out there.
Or we had listened to some guru that told us that, some business guru that told us, oh, you need to do this many sales, this many advertisements, you need to spend this exact amount in order to get this ROI, right? And that, again, was a very masculine way to do business. It was a very masculine way to do sales, which was the way in which that's what's so repulsive to me in the corporate world, with advertising. And it wasn't really from a place of true, like, I had so many people, so many clients have told me, I love the way that y'all work, because what it does is it allows clients to be exactly who they are. And when I help people with sales, for example, to share from their place of worthiness and being, and rather than it being some transactional numbers game, right? And so that's why we have success in ways that we don't even understand sometimes, right? Like, we've been building this community from this iteration for about 2 years, but the types of success that we've already experienced surpasses what the general numbers should be. And we know, we laugh about it because we're like, this is crazy. This is crazy. Like, we see all these different wins, and when you look at it from those places, they're like, we shouldn't be there, but we are. And we know that that's really because we are showing up from a place of, like, we're pulling in the people that most just want to be here through invitation of how we show up. And it's taken a while to get there, but
I mean, well, 2 years. I mean, I feel like we,
but this has been a culmination.
We're going to keep growing.
Yeah, exactly. A culmination of, when I say taking a while to get there, I meant like a culmination of all of the things that we've learned over the years, all the access classes, right? Like, all the things to bring you what we have now in this really beautiful container and space that we do. And so we talk about money, but money is just, if money hangs people up the most sometimes, right? Like, so people mostly can see their hangups, and they can see where they're not really being truly energetically sound or aligned, because they can see that in their bank account, right? But the truth is that you can apply any of these principles to any part of your life, whether that's calling somebody in to be your spouse or partner, or whether it's writing your next book. These are all the things that you can do. The principles that we teach around money are all the things that you can do to enhance every area of your life, no matter what that looks like. It just so happens that money is the one that we like to talk about, because we believe that, well, and we'll go back into this. We believe that, like, more wonderful, more good people, right? Because there's this belief that, okay, when I say this, money is the root of all what?
Evil.
Right? So many people grew up with that. And so we have this idea that there's bad people with money. And so many times we might be pushing money away. And so we believe that more people, good people, should have more access to money so they can do more good things. And we can create this new earth together, right? So we're just another form of financial freedom, and that'll be my piece right now.
Love it. I wanted to address this question from Liz on the chat, and she says, one of my struggles is about worrying about being more successful, particularly financially. Now, with these, I like to sometimes take, when the charge comes up, mostly so that you can see when the charge comes up. And this is when the charge comes up. She says, particularly financially.
And that's why I said it.
And she also says, then others closest to me.
Okay.
Which means that she is on an energetic level constantly comparing herself. Doesn't that seem like that would be a lot of work, and a little bit of heaviness would go on there? So here's how we like to grab some of these. So if you can relate, and maybe you're comparing yourself to other people where you're just not financially as successful, or not just, you don't think of yourself as a success in general. Everything that comes up when I ask that question about you, would you be willing to destroy and uncreate?
Yes.
And take a breath. This is one of the simplest ways. There are questions that we just don't ask in our lives. There are things that we say. And she's like, that's not even her question here. She's like, you're addressing that I'm comparing myself. But the reason I'm addressing is because that's an energy that's going on with her all the time. So sometimes it's easy enough to just bring awareness to something and you can get rid of it like that.
Yes.
Sometimes you can't, but oftentimes with little ones like that, you'll be like, oh, I am comparing. That's weird. Why can't I just do my best and be my best self and stop doing that extra energy? You're spending extra energy on something where you could be spending that energy on creating a better life, more finances or whatever.
Right.
Okay. So I wanted to address that part. The second part here then is there's a conversation that I had with an supervisor at my first retail job. And in that moment, they said, you're not afraid of failing. You're afraid of succeeding. So there's a few things going on here.
Wait, have you? Okay, go ahead.
And this still isn't the question.
Yeah.
But just want to address it just so that y'all can see it too and how your language comes through. So if somebody gives you a statement and says something about you, ever, doesn't matter if you were 4/18/88, right? If they say something about you, that doesn't mean that you are that. And there are so many places that we've solidified these words that other people's stupid opinions have said about us. And they may or may not be true, but you need to go into your knower and say, is that true for me? So in this question, then you'd have to go in and go, is it true that I can fail? Okay, cool. But maybe I'm afraid of succeeding. Is that really true for you? Is what you need to ask. And then the next question we'd ask from an energetic state is, does it really matter if you know your soul's path and your purpose and you're choosing based on that?
Yeah. There you go. Right.
So to continue the question and to get to the question, she said, every now and then I remember that conversation and how I was like, yeah, you're right.
There it is. They're good. So that's the point of giving your power away.
That's the point of giving your power away. She's like, and it still lingers. And it's something I want to focus on letting go this year.
Good for you. Good for you for pointing that out. And thank you for being so vulnerable too. This is a no judgment zone.
And I'm not going to call out names for this.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. And we're no judgment zone. So I want y'all to know that anything that we do, it's all of in a place of love, that our audience is so loving. And we want everybody to, we all do it, right? I have that too. I've done it. I probably had it yesterday and come up in some ways. But I now know these principles and these tools and these questions to ask to go, wait, is that true?
Yeah. So I just want to show you how this works on a hypnotic level, if that's okay. And it doesn't have to take long. I know we don't have a ton of time. So go ahead and just, if you'd close your eyes, and anybody can do this, and look for a pattern in your life where somebody gave you a thought about yourself. You are ambitious. Doesn't have to be a bad thought. It could be. But in her case, it needs to be, you're afraid of succeeding. You are afraid of succeeding. You will always be. It's a part of your identity. That's how special you are. Because you, among the rest of the group, great.
I found my reason why.
Yep. You in the entire universe, you are the only one here that is just dang afraid of succeeding. So you will never succeed. And just find that pattern in your body. And what you can either go, heck no, that's wrong, get out, bye-bye. Or you can go in and actually go, where is it in my body? Do I notice around my heart, my shoulders, my solar plexus? Where is that pattern in your body? and really go in it and just see it and go, hi, hello, hi, you're living inside of me. So I'm just going to say hello to you.
What's up?
What's up? And just see it and get all the colors, the flavors, the tastes, all the energy that comes up around this. And then you can say, hey, can we change? Can we change this pattern? You might notice like when it's what point of creation. Sometimes people will come to me with an image and they're like, and she even has the story of when it happened. So maybe she remembers what she was doing at the time that that supervisor said that to her, right? So she could go back into the story, and what you can do with hypnosis is you can change the story.
Mm-hmm.
So then in a session like this, you would go in and go, no, I'm not, right? And you could actually change the whole narrative around that so much and you would embrace what you really want to choose around this.
Mm-hmm.
Because every point of view that you have creates. And if you have a point of view that you're afraid to be successful, you will always be afraid of being successful in the rawest sense.
And many people don't realize that they are afraid of being successful. And so what that might show up is like, okay, am I afraid of being successful? And I'm like, heck no, I want to be successful.
Right.
But then it's like, okay, well, then I go, okay, what does that look like? I'm trucking along. I'm successful. Well, will I have to leave my friends behind? Will people not like me?
Yeah.
Well, remember one of the things I said was if I show up too boldly, I'm going to be judged, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like if we get too big, oh my gosh, like look at the Kardashians, they get judged so much, right? Like that was one of the things that was hidden in there as a belief system. And so in a sense, we will sabotage our success, right? Having those little ways in which that they insidiously lie within our subconscious as other things. Many people might sometimes women are worried about from some old stuff about being more successful than their husband. I mean, these are all little things that hide as weird ways.
Under that category of being unworthy.
Right. Because I didn't want to be on a global stage because I didn't want to be seen and I didn't want to be judged. And if I didn't want to be judged, what was I trying to hide?
Yeah.
It was my unworthiness.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. So I just wanted to show y'all how I'm like, I want to be successful. Well, what does that look like?
Yeah.
Right. And you have to kind of find, and this is why I'm a big proponent of journaling. You have to kind of find sometimes how you can reformulate that question.
Yeah. And I thought I didn't have a worthiness problem at all. But then I had this layer of always trying to prove how good I was.
Yeah. It's so funny because you and I are so opposite.
It was like, I was almost narcissistic around it.
No.
A little bit, it was because I was just so good at like proving how good I was. Yeah. And so then once I lost that layer of proving, it then ended up to be me finding that I was actually not, thought that, well, I'm not good enough. And I was like, wait, what? Is that still in there? So then, you go back in, you go into the pattern. So she responded with, she's like, yeah, I remember I just had a great sale and was putting the demo product back. She's like, LOL. And so it's like, it was almost just somebody designed to shut people down.
Yeah.
I'm among a higher hierarchy. So I can make you feel that you're not good enough, probably because you just had a great sale and they kind of felt like crap because they probably haven't been doing as well serendipitously.
It doesn't even really matter,
right?
Whatever reason that they had to do it.
You can make a new narrative around it.
That's it right there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she says, yeah, there's so much hesitation with letting myself shine. Exactly. Here,
and that's exactly what we're saying.
Well, Jennifer is like, let me prove it to you. I'm over here like, oh, no, I don't want you looking at me, right? And that's two different ways in which an aspect can show up.
Yep.
And both needed to be cleared, but they were on the different sides of the spectrum as well. But same thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think that this goes miles deep, but I do want to kind of go through some of the other ones And some of the limiting patterns will even show up as unworthiness. So some of the limiting patterns we had written down was money is hard to make.
I like it calling it limiting beliefs because sometimes some of these things that we hold as truth and we don't even know.
Yeah. But this one probably goes deeper. There's never enough.
Yep.
I'll lose it if I get it. We talked yesterday about water, it being like water and just kind of going through your fingers. So, that is a point of view that then people solidify because it acts like water. So then they see it like water when there's not a ton of water there and your hand isn't in the ocean. So then they'll see it as just a faucet that goes through all your fingers, right? Does that make sense?
No, but that's okay. I think it made sense yesterday.
Well, so I like to look at money like water.
Okay.
And so you can't hold on to water.
Okay.
Not if it's just a little faucet here.
Okay.
Right? So if a faucet was above my hand here and it would go sprinkling down, it would just kind of go, there'd be nothing for me to really hold unless I cupped this little bit and then tried to hold on for dear life and then I'd squish it and then it'd all squish out anyway.
Okay.
But if your hand isn't in just trying to get these trickles, but you can put your hand in the ocean, then it doesn't need to be held because it will move.
Okay, so it's about moving.
Okay, so that wasn't the best visual. That's okay.
It's about moving. Well, no, because it's about where you're being, right?
It's where you're being, right?
So
if you're the drop in the ocean.
You're playing with just the droplets when there's the whole ocean available to you, then the money as the water as money was so available, right? Yes. Because there's so much in the ocean. I gotcha. Yeah, but we're over here just trying to hold these droplets. Right. So instead you could be a whole nother being with it to where that you're united and there's just overflow because look how grand the ocean is. That makes total sense to me.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I just had to get there.
Yeah, right. Thank you for because I think everyone else probably did too.
Good.
Because I've
now let's take this one. Yeah, sure. Let's take it one step further. With that same analogy, whenever we tried to hold onto money, right? Like whenever we tried to hold, like let's say we have like a lot of money, so you've got a little container, right? You maybe put both hands there, right? Sure. You got a little container, and now you're like, I don't want to give any away.
Right.
I don't want to drop any. I don't want to give any away. So then you stay here. But what it is that you don't allow that money to go back into circulation, and you spend all your time just trying to hold on to this little bit of money. No, I got it.
Right.
I got it. I got all the right money investment. I got all the things. I got my bank. It makes this much in interest. Blah blah blah. Blah. Right.
You've got all the computations in your
head. But you don't move and you don't do anything with it because you're so afraid of getting out of this position,
losing it,
because you're going to drop your money.
Yes.
When all of this is available to you,
when you could be walking through the ocean,
right?
Yep.
So just wanted to give you that another way in which we block ourselves, but you can change it.
Yeah, and I hope that you guys are really getting this.
I think so.
I feel like in sometimes when we talk about this, there's this conscious field that then comes and says, well, yes, and.
Yes.
And so when I, really look at this, I can see how, people are like, well, it's good to have money, right? Because then you start having this belief of having money. Right. So you have this little cup of money. So in some way, the having it then creates another frequency where you have money, especially if you've had none.
Yes.
Okay. So I just want to share with you that everything that you do around this, it could possibly change your frequency.
Oh, yes.
Now, if you could take your little couplet and say, I'm going to reinvest this bucket, then you might start to follow the energy of consciousness of your purpose, and then money can flow if that is something that you desire. I do feel that you've got to go for it with your desires instead of pulling back and saying and sticking with all these limiting beliefs.
Another subconscious family belief is rich people are greedy. We're not money people, right?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
again,
everything that is what you're
that goes back to
create.
comparison.
Mhm.
Yeah, thank you. That goes back to comparison. It goes back to, not just following your own intuition, following your own path. We've had a few calls on your personal self-identity programming, not related to money, sometimes related to money, and they've been wild, life-changingly wild. We'll both get off those calls and go, what? So one of my favorite things to do with looking at your identity around money is if you were a child of somebody insanely rich that you admire,
this is
that
good.
that is actually creating the life that you actually want to lead. Say you are a child of
Paris Hilton.
Okay, you were a child of Paris Hilton. I don't know why you chose that one, but that's funny.
I was just thinking Paris Hilton was a child that was born into money.
Yeah. Yeah. So then how might your life be different? What if money was already there? What if you were born in the ocean of money? How might you choose differently when you create each day? Would you have more worth? Right?
Mhm.
Would you feel better about yourself, even if you weren't actually creating your own money? Journal. What components of this do you know about yourself? And if you were to write all those down, how many of those points of view are holding you back? So that's a piece of that. Just to go through these a little bit quicker so you get all of them, but we're not. Oh, rebellion. Rebellion was one of my identities. You see, I have an arm of tattoos, which is a little bit of me being a rebel. But when I realized that I was just a rebel, I felt like I had my own cause. My cause was against my Christian parents,
Sure,
I guess,
sure.
right?
Yeah.
But I realized that then it was almost like I had to do rebellion instead of really choosing for me.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And this could be a rebellion against capitalism or materialism. So then you can see how whenever you rebel against capitalism, you're like, I'm not going to do capitalism. Well, then you can see how you're being an energetic unmatch for receiving money because you closed it down.
I love that you went there.
You closed it down from being able to receive from all of consciousness. I mean, that rebellion piece and you taking that stance, can you see how that would repel you from and keep you from taking, being a part of capitalism? And capitalism, in some ways, in some forms, includes sales, right? So that, or, let's say you're doing beautiful art and you wanted to sell that, but you're like, I don't like capitalism. So you don't share it online. You don't put it out and you don't ask to put your pieces out in front of this store at another person's store. Maybe they wanted to bring them in. And you're like, no, I'm not going to be any part of that. Well, you see how that doesn't allow you to be more creative about the different places and spaces that you could show off your beautiful artwork. These cute, in my mind, this cute little like pottery, right? And so then can you see how that now blocks you from any potential sales and any other potential people seeing your beautiful artwork and then sharing it with their friends, right? You see how that right there, that one thing, that taking a stance and that belief that we hold really, really limits us from the ability to create and be in that creative space. So just be on the where to look out for some of those nuances. And this is what we help you do. Go ahead.
Yeah. And this is what we help you do in the inner circle as well. And,
exactly.
Yeah. And just take off some of these leaping patterns as well. Leaping patterns.
The other one was that one was the epigenetics. So number 4 was the energetic and entanglements. And those could look like I'm carrying others' money's pain. Those could look like I'm carrying generational debt patterns. So basically, any energetic ties. Like my parents were always broke, primarily because there were the drugs involved, right? And so I grew up believing that there was not enough. And so, have you ever heard that money doesn't grow on trees? Well, it does. It's paper. Why can't it? Like, why can't we just believe anything that we want to? Like, why can't we just blow up any beliefs that we have adopted from our parents? And so that one was the energetics of the environment around us.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and I mean, it doesn't like just because it's not the root of all evil doesn't mean it's the root of all happiness either. And I think anything that you make a declarative statement around that can block you from receiving. How many declarative statements do you say, no, it's this way?
Oh, I used to all the time.
Right?
And yeah.
It's like, no, maybe it's not. Maybe it actually is just you and your perception think that instead of it actually coming from an energetic source. I think it's so, yeah. Anyway, I'm not going to go there. That's going to be too long. What other questions do you have? Well, actually, maybe we should go into Mystique and then we can come back and ask more questions. So feel free to put some questions in the chat, raise your hands. We're going to talk a little bit about the inner circle and the benefits of it. Some people are in it just for like the coupon code, and other people are in it for the whole shebang and part of the community and everything. So just keep that in mind as we go through this. I'm going to go ahead and bring up the sales page. And let's talk about how you can be a part of our inner circle and what that really gives you.
Right.
Yeah.
Why are we talking about, money, how we're sharing today? And, why are we talking about the inner circle? Well, because this is just an extra way that we can take you through the work that we do so that you can have the most expanded life, business, whatever those things are look like for you. We just happen to be talking on the subject of money, but those, again, the principles can be applied. And we have a cool little way for you to continue to working with us in that way.
And if you join now, you can also, if you get the year-long program, you can get a free ticket to our live event.
I know, it's exciting.
I should add that to the
where we take it further and even deeper.
Right. So this is really just about, continuing to practice and to practice with a group in a mastermind where they're always challenging you to reach out and be your highest self in each now moment. Why is it different? I mean, this is truly a frequency playground, right? With mystics, people coming, a lot of them are channeling. Some of their channels have come online. Some of them, really know personal development and can support you in that way as well. This isn't a therapy call as much as it is really showing you how you can be one and oneness with the universe.
And let's just be honest, where other places are you in spaces are you getting this type of information, right? Like it's like I know that I'm not having these conversations with my friends that I have in my regular spaces. And this is a very unique place where I don't think anything is happening by accident. And so all of the people that are in the group now, it's divinely guided. And so we are here together to enhance each other's gifts because we've got great stuff that we're doing in the world.
Absolutely.
Whether that's just being the best mom that I actually ever can be. And, the gifts as we are around each other, our gifts are expanded whenever you are in the environment of others, right? So when I mean gifts, I mean intuitive gifts. I mean your clair audience. I mean all your clairs. They come online. We show each other how to use ours better. We talk about our different really crazy experiences because we're also you can have this kind of conversation. So this is really truly the magic in the whole program, but it also comes with some amazing bonuses too.
Absolutely. So that's the meat of it, is the mastermind group. And now we're just going to kind of go through everything else you get. You get access to all the summits, for one. So if you've already bought the summit and you would like this and said, we will refund your summit purchase.
Yep.
Absolutely.
So that's all the past summits and the future summits too. And remind you, we're doing a summit every season, and every season is each quarter. So we're doing a summit every quarter. And then we also do a live show, but you get access to all the future summits too.
Yep. And there'll be a live event in October.
That's right.
Yep. Okay. And what else you get is if you are one that buy a lot of special offers, you get a 10% off code for any of the special offers that we host on our site. And that literally comes out of Hustle. We still give our speaker the full percentage that their commissions.
Yeah.
Just so you know, like we want you in here and we want you to play with us. And that's just one of the benefits of it.
And one of the other benefits too is because when you are learning the special offers of the other speakers that we because we endorse these speakers, right?
Yeah.
When you're learning all that stuff, you bring it to the group, and so we want you to be able to consume this information, so we give you that discount so that you can buy other offers, and then you bring your new awarenesses to the group to share on those. Many times it just happens by osmosis. It's not like we're asking you to present on them or anything like that. But all of this information, all of the things that we do, and the reasons why we have all the summits included is because everything builds upon each other, and many things we will have each other go back and relook at. Or do you be like, do you remember that interview that we did with this and this and this where we talked about this? And everybody's like, oh yeah, let me go look for that. And so they'll go rewatch a piece of it, and then we can come back and have a deeper, bigger conversation, which elevates everybody else. I mean, this is like a real, like, master inspired, higher universe program, like teaching program that is teaching us and all of y'all, and it contributes back and forth. That's what I gotta say.
Yes, the universe orchestrates everything that we do.
Yes. And it builds on, for real.
What else you get is priority access to asking questions on summits and during our regular live show. We will take all the Mystique members and their questions before we take anybody else. Just because, for one, we're a part of a community, and we really want to support them as much as we can.
So they get like all the readings all the time.
They get all the readings from, the benefit of that is really a lot, because one psychic that gives you that you're showing up on the call and you asked one question that could totally change your life.
Yes.
We've had that happen.
We had, even in our summits with our speakers, right? In those 5 minutes.
Yeah, they'll break you through the next level faster. So I feel like that's a huge, huge benefit.
Yeah.
You also get a flat fee of $150 to work with either me or Leonka whenever you need it throughout the entire year that you're a Mystique member, unless we've agreed to have it at a different price point with you already.
Which is great, because sometimes those, my sessions, they're valued at $444. Janet's is probably more than that. And so this is just a great way, because we want to be able to support our members here. Look, the whole thing is like, we want you to grow. The people that are already in this group, the level of different things that they have done that they have never even done in their life before, it blows my mind. Like I was in tears hearing some of the things that people were doing, whether it's driving in and, choosing themselves for the first time in a long, long time, like as a mom, and you going like, I chose to come anyway. I haven't done anything for myself in a long time, and chose to come to the live event. And I thought, damn, that's cool. Or somebody getting on a plane for the first time to come and be with us. Like, what? Wow. Like,
or somebody who is totally blind.
Yes. Oh, it was such a badass. And opened me up, right? So everybody else's gifts, or another person was sharing about how they are connecting with all of the intergalactic beings, and of their past and their past lifetimes, and the questions that we can ask that person, right? And it opens ourselves up, each other. So the different types of transformations that are happening in this group was like indescribable. I can't even describe it. Can you think about how that would even benefit your money?
Right.
Like that's just an afterthought, right? Yeah. Like that money gets to totally be the symptom of that greatness.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Having support, getting support, always having somebody there. A lot of people actually have like buddies. Within
their friends.
They become friends, and they like call each other up, and they, it's just,
I love
one thing at a time. So it's pretty freaking.
I think about our Mystique people all of the time.
Yeah.
And when they ask questions, I'm like, secretly, I'm like, yes. Because their questions, if you've listened on the speakers or whatever, some of them they don't even have like a specific thing that they're like, that's ailing them. And many times at first they wouldn't raise their hand, and they're like, well, I'm good. Yeah. And so when they would ask a question, it's either really, really one of those like, you can tell that they've been doing some journey work, Or they'll be like, yeah, no, I just felt like you have a reading for me, a message for me, right? Because they can tell that intuitively.
Yeah,
Isn't that cool?
most definitely. 100%. And when do we meet? The mastermind is once a month. It's the second Wednesday of each month. It is also at 4 p.m. Pacific. So if you're looking to go, well, could I actually even come live? We really, really like you live. We do send the replay out for, within a couple days after. And when, wow, last month, Leonka led it. And it was kind of about sadness,
Yeah, I was
and
going
how
through
to
sadness.
be with sadness.
Mhm.
Really, really be.
Yeah, like,
It was
and
just profound.
yeah, thank you.
One jumped off another, jumped off another, jumped off another. And then we got to be like, wow, this is an experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
And it was
interesting.
something that it was, really stemmed from a place that, something I was going through. My grandmother moved, she couldn't walk. And so she's had to move to, another house where my aunt can take her, which was 2.5 hours away. But because she was the one that raised me and her house was the place that was like safety, while, y'all heard my story where my parents were not around, it was a place of safety and a place of like whatnot. So I was really dealing with a lot of just like real person sadness. And so I wanted to bring that into the group. And it ended up being, maybe something exactly what people needed. I don't even want to say maybe. It's exactly what people needed to hear, probably because spirit runs this thing.
Absolutely. I just put the link in the chat, you guys. If this is something that calls you and you're like, yes, I'm in, here is the investment for it. And I wrote this up yesterday. I put this one little line up here after I got off the call. And I was thinking, gosh, this is like a living, breathing membership, right?
Mhm.
It's like when you come in, you can take it and do it just for 1 month if you want to,
Mhm.
and say, no, I don't like it, right? That ease and flexibility. But most people that sign up for the monthly, they're there every month anyway.
Yeah, they decide to go ahead
Yeah.
and do the annual.
It's just a really fun place to go deeper and as I said, let it unfold to eternity, because it's very much like, one little thing that you learn, you take with yourself for life.
For life. Yeah.
Like if we could really bust through that belief system earlier where, she had a point of view that she's, never going to be successful, or, great at failing, but never great at actually succeing, right?
Actually, it was backwards, but like, she never fails, but she was afraid of succeeding, right? So think about how that would, how that bless you, right? Like, bless you from your blessings, just holding that one little
belief
right
system.
And these are the things that we blow through. These are the things that that come up in these conversations that are so unconsciously hidden that we can facilitate for, and we do that as well. Let's see.
Well, we've talked a lot about the crazy in the summit. We've talked a lot about the rich in the summit, but this is really your path to freedom.
I love that. It is, right? Imagine being the person that was like, I've never gotten on a plane. I've never gone to be with people that I don't know before. Look at the freedom that can create. Now that's something that's like available for that person, right? And more things are going to be available for that person if they want, right? More things that because they're choosing, yes, they're choosing life, they're choosing themselves. It's not anything that we're doing. It's you get to do for you. So the different price structures are the $37 a month. So you can just, choose to do it monthly. 167 for six months. So it just charges 167 if you just want to say, okay, I'll do it for the 6 months. But the biggest, special is going to be the discount plus gets you the free gift to the live event. I'll get it out there, Judith. I promise. Is 222 annually. So that you can do a 2-pay option, which is to get started for 111 and choose you, and then the other happens in a month. So basically we wanted to make it super freaking easy for you to choose you. That's it. Like, we want everybody to have these types of all of the things available for you. And we're always adding to this, and you're going to get all the summits, you're going to get all the things that we would, that we just continue to build from, that we learn from.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for your beautiful comments. Joe says Mystique has been a spiritual lifesaver.
Oh, for me in the past couple months together, they've all supported through the diagnosis of the colon cancer and how it brings in a teacher. Yes, like that's he has the community. He's got friends there now that are supporting like that. Oh gosh, that makes my heart just feel so wonderful. Thank you for saying that, Joe.
Right. Wow, thank you. And Liz, yes, you're definitely welcome to.
Liz, yes, come join us. I mean, I know all the other people have been writing to you and already been saying you need to be a part of Mystique because they cheerleader on each other. So yes, please join us.
And if you have any questions, you can always email us at team@houthustle.com. I'll put it also in the chat. I think it's probably at the bottom of the page too, but sometimes people don't feel like they can use
I love this group so much. I'm so proud of it. Like, isn't it so cool?
It's such a great group.
I know.
So if you have any questions, email us. There's an email at the bottom of this page. It's houthustle.com/join. Of course, you can find it on the live page at houthustle.com/live, and you'll find it under our pretty faces.
Hey.
Yeah. Any other questions? Questions about the group? Questions about healing? Questions about anything? Do you guys? Did I miss anything on the? What about on the YouTube? Do you see anything?
I think my feed went. I was so busy I didn't get to click on it. Let's see. I think one of the other things too that we get asked often is, if they do the $37, could they come back? Yes, of course. Right. Like you can, that's why you said it breathes so easy. So you can choose to do it this month and you're like, oh, you know what? I'm feeling really down right now. You know how we have those seasons, right? Sometimes let me just try. Let me just see what it's like.
Yeah, the time you really should do it.
Right. So like, and you're like, let me just see what it's about.
Yeah.
Definitely use that as a taster as well. Wanda says, thank you, Jonathan Leonka, for an incredible session. Thank you, Wanda. Renee.
Can you blow? Yeah, we could.
We're working on it. You have to read the question. Yeah. Can we blow up the entire belief system, such as Christianity's teaching of money? Yes and no.
The thing is, is some truth.
Too.
I know there's some truth in Christianity.
Yeah, and here's the thing: like, there's some support there. Let us use all pieces of consciousness to support, right? And Christianity is another one of those things. You take the pieces that are wholesome, that are helping people, that are because Christianity, it has its place. Like some people like are saved by it, right? Like it has a moral compass for civilization. And I think anything that brings you back closer to spirituality is that it's a bonus for sure. Yeah. But take it with a grain of salt. So take the pieces that are really cool and then couple that with the things that you learn from here or there, or whether it's two completely opposite things, like the Book of Enoch versus this, right? Like pull from those. And those are the things that we also talk about in the group too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But I like it. I got you, Liz. Like there's a lot that's there. But you can blow it up. We can blow it up together, right?
Yeah,
we can unsubscribe to all that together.
Liz writes, this might be a conversation for a different time, but in case there's a crash course option, what are the thoughts on being an quote accident baby?
Oh yeah.
There aren't no accidents.
There are no accidents.
There ain't no accident.
Yeah. Where that energy of not wanting the pregnancy happens to transfer in the womb. Yeah. So here's the thing. We choose our parents before we come in. So regardless if they thought that it was an accident or not, every single person, every single soul is absolutely meant to be here at this particular time. Otherwise, you would not. There are more. I've asked this question, and there are. It's from what I understand, there are more souls wanting to come in to help elevate ascension, then there are bodies. And now we're understanding that there are bodies to help hold some of those spirits. You happen to be one of the ones that have a really beautiful spirit that you wanted to come in at this time to help elevate the ascension. And you got to choose a body, and that was the body you chose.
And those were the
parents that you chose in order to come in. Now, did you know that they were going to have, like, did you forget that they were going to have like this thing about not wanting a baby and how that transfers into the womb and how you hold that in your body? Yeah, that did happen. So you can definitely get some, you can even like get a QHHT session to help rid your body and regulate the nervous system, and ask your oversoul, to your higher self, to heal that throughout the body that you do a body scan, and then it helps to regulate the nervous system so that energetically you're not operating from that place. So, but just know that every single soul here has a signature resonance, and we make up a part of this bigger harmony. And you are never duplicated ever again. So you're specifically meant to be here. And I love that so much. And thank you for being here today in this call with us.
That's a cool question. And again, that's like a pattern that's living inside of you still. And you've got to go, how long am I going to choose this pattern?
Renee says, excellent point. Thank you. And Dana says, we are all on purpose. Yes, we are. We can't get it wrong.
Yeah.
You know, the fact that we raised our hands, and we choose to come here to this distance place to raise the elevation, we already got that part right. We're already on purpose in that way. Did we, we knew that we'd forget. Did we know we were going to forget at this level? Probably not.
I don't think that we did, because if I realize that I'm actually speaking to Metis as an Arcturian, and
that's the beauty of it, though.
But how much do I go? I'm not a high priestess, really, because of that unworthiness condition. I feel too significant to shine.
Oh well,
right, like that. I know, but it's like, you know what? We've gotten to a point within this
that mess. Yeah, we're over that now. We're blowing that shit up. Let's see. I don't feel. Let's see. Liz says, I don't feel out of pocket after reading this. Even after hearing that statement, it didn't feel like it quite fit. But I realized that I may carry that without knowing. Yeah, you will carry that without knowing. I felt that too. That she said, yeah, it's a pattern you're doing. I don't feel like you would do the pattern when I tune in energetically. But there is when I hear, same thing for like when I hear about like the nervous system of children that have been like in toxic scenarios that are like 1 to 7 years old. I mean, you have to think about it. Like my uncles that would live with my parents, because they were all young, they were real young, they would hear me crying, and I'd be crying for so long that my uncle would wrap me up and take me to my grandmother's house as a baby. Like, that means nobody woke up to get me, right? Like, nobody got up. Like they watched me walk out the house, right? Like
Bianca.
You have to think about like, I know, don't go there. Like you have to think about like the nervous system that I've got, right? But when I really tune in, I know that I came here for something else. Like I know that you did too, because you're sitting on this call.
Well, and you're asking the question.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's why that doesn't read, is because it may be here. So I can do something like,
story,
but not mine. It's a story, but not ours, right? Like you don't lead with that. I don't lead with that, but it's in there, right? And so we can utilize our tools to migrate that out of our nervous systems if it hides in there, right? Wherever it hides in the body, whatever that looks like. And the tools it could be the QHHT session. It could even be a hypnosis session. But whatever those things are, I don't even care if it comes from us. Find those things and just run the chakras. Buy the chakras thing and let that run in the background. That will definitely regulate those pieces, and ask that it leaves. Ask that you don't have to carry that in anywhere where it's hidden within you anymore.
Right.
And Liz said, thank you, exclamation points. Thank you. Thank you for letting me get that out too. Yeah.
Woo. Any other questions? We'll give you a few more questions. We start the next session in about 5 minutes.
Yay, take a deep breath. And anything that doesn't allow you to believe that this is available for you and that you can change, and that anywhere you have any skepticism, will you destroy and uncreate, please? And just ask God, universe, spirit, I'm willing to change. I'm willing to show up as more. I am willing to be on purpose, whatever that looks like. Even if the word purpose bothers me, I'm willing to be that which I have designed for me. And I'm willing to just see things differently. And anything that doesn't allow me to receive that, I will release. I release that now. Help me to release that. Help me to have other ways in which that I can receive. And always have the faith that I'm already receiving in co-creation with you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And so it is.
Thank you.
Oh, Dana says, thank you times 3. Can QHH do? Yes. Mia, yes, it can be done online. The traditional thought when Dolores Cannon passed, when she passed, I believe it was like 2017, is that it couldn't be done online. Today, Dolores Cannon didn't know that the different, first of all, Dolores Cannon didn't live through COVID when there was originally that put online. Whenever it was declared that people couldn't do it online, COVID hadn't happened yet. And the other thing is that we didn't have the type of technology that we have today. The biggest reason why you might come people, there's a school of thought that says that you can't do it online, and that's true. The school of thought, QHHT, some people will tell you that it can't be done online. It can be done online. The reason why that the school of thought that says that it can't be done online is because Dolores Cannon was worried about monitoring you. And now that we have really great technology and communications and everything, so what I do, and I'll just take it for myself, what I do to help monitor people, because I agree, if I can't monitor you, I will not do the session online. What we do is a 15-minute consultation. We go through your technology. I look at where you're going to lay at. What is your lighting going to look like? How am I going to be able to do you have your, are we doing this with a laptop? Can I make sure that your sound is good? I want to make sure that if you get up to go to the bathroom, I don't have to follow you, but I can see when you get back because you'll stay under. I want to see your body, your torso and your body and your breathing, because again, it's important that I be able to facilitate you should you come into a past life or something like that. That might be a little scary or something like that. I need to be able to visually see where your body is going to give me responses first. And so I just make sure that all of those things in that consultation before that 15, when we do that consultation, and then we'll have that same exact setup for your actual session. So we do that consultation before, like a week's or whatever before your actual session. And that's why, yeah. But I've had amazing results with people online. In fact, I had just did this gentleman the other day who thought that he could not be hypnotized. And I said, I don't know why, but I have this really unique ability. Maybe it's because I did that big project that I really can get people to go under and go far and deep, and then they do. And he met 3 guides of his in his life between lives, and they were able to let him know what kind of soul he is and why he felt so different. He's got a really unique ability to create music that heals, and so he's been and he's worked with Sony and everything. So they gave him guidance about that. So that's really remarkable. And we did it all online.
Yeah.
I do have a link for my QHHT sessions. I can put that in.
Yeah, send us an email.
Yeah. Send me an email. Send me an email at team@houthustle.com.
Yeah.
And I actually am running a little bit of a discount right now too. So I'll get that to you.
Fabulous. All right. We're about to flip over, so I'm going to stop the recording. We're about to flip over. I'm like, oh my gosh,
I
I've
love
been sitting in this
you.
chair too long. It's like my language sometimes just goes blah, whatever.
Hey, I don't even know how my family understands me sometimes because Leoncanese is like, what are you saying, girl? Okay. Yeah, send me an email. I did, but I'm running a discount right now. So, because I've got a little bit of downtime. And if you become a member, you also get a bigger discount. So,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
look at that. And, it all bridges together. Like you take that information and then we work with you throughout the year to become whatnot.
Most of the people in Mystique have had a session with either me or Leonka
Uh-huh.
somewhere along the way, and some of
And
them,
most of both, yeah.
yeah, and many coach just with us regularly too.
Yep.
They use this like a therapist. Well, and some don't. I mean, there are some that don't too. But
Sure.
yeah, I mean, it's really interesting being a part of their journey.
Oh, Dana, thank you. Dana says that I've had a QHHT session with Leonka and it's quite amazing.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
I've had one with Leonka and
Yeah,
it's
we
quite
had
amazing.
fun. It was fun. I loved doing it. I love doing it. I love all of this stuff.
Then Shara comes back. It's like Jenna's the best.
Jenna is the best. She's the best therapist. I love it. I love it.
I'm just gonna screenshot that.
See, she didn't screenshot any of mine.
I'll screenshot yours too.
Yeah, y'all look for that. I don't care. Okay. So let's just take a deep breath. It's 1:31 and we'll get started with a new recording.
Okay, here we go. And hello, Casey. Can you test your mic real quick?
Test, test, test. How is everybody?
Perfect. Thank you.
Good.
I'm going to give us an official intro and then I'll bring you up.
Sure.
Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Jenna Blackard.
And I'm Leonka Reyna.
And this is the Hustle Mystic Morning Show. Today we're talking with Casey Spear, and we are going to go so deep from our last session. She pretty much nailed me and every one of my little lock, key, and control issues.
Wow.
So I'm sure that this will be a fun conversation. So get ready to raise your hands, ask your questions, because
It's going to go good.
Casey Spears channels Julius.
Yes, a couple words about Casey. Casey at a young age began seeing and listening to the angels, guides, and masters visit her room, as well as getting intuitive hits of information when she was a child in regards to what's coming in life and also being able to provide information for family members. Casey began channeling to her mother and brother as her father was passing, giving them insight and information from him. This continued on with the passing of a couple other dear friends. Casey was truly coming into her own channeling and mediumship gifts at that time. And then in 2008, the process began to unfold with Julius, where he began to come through. Julius began, I don't say he, my bad, sorry. I just am paraphrasing here. Julius began to come through in such powerful ways. Casey began to show channeling talents to live audience, television programming, and telesummits and online courses. Casey has come to realize what a powerful connection and relationship she has with Julius. They have arrived once again in this timeline to assist her on her ascension process and, of course, assist all of you on yours. And Julius is truly a gift as well as Casey. So thank you and wonderful. Welcome.
Hi, everybody. It's so much fun to be here.
It is, isn't it?
Your last show pretty much went viral, and we had over 5K views right away. We were like, wow.
Too fun.
That is so nice. I literally was just having a conversation and just to an extension to your audience with the unsurmountable amount of information that is out there now and the ease for the availability for that information. When I get invited to be on a show like this or have the opportunity to interact with other people's audiences, it is such an honor and a blessing. Thank you all so much. Seriously, it's the best thing ever, right? So thank you for having me today. It is also, on top of that, today is an extra energy burst. I got extraordinary information in the wee hours of the morning that I've been waiting 2 years for, which came in, of course, thankfully. And so energy is jacked up. Julius is jacked up today, all in perfect alignment for your show. So thank you, ladies, so much
Everybody on
for
the
having me.
chat is saying, this is so exciting. This is going to be a great show. Oh my God, this is going to be amazing. I agree. Let's go.
Well, I want to start. We didn't go into that much detail around when you had your big transformation. I know that Julius came in like 2008. I had you on the show in like 2012.
Yeah,
And then there was time that passed, these
yes.
13 years, and you changed immensely. And you had it's almost like you were Phoenix rising, walk through a fire, but
Yeah.
you didn't go into much detail around that. I would love to hear some more of those details.
Thank you for that. So I am going to speak openly because one of the things that came in last night was a finality on legalities. So I can speak today. As you know, Jeneth, I was married to a gentleman at that time.
Yes.
And as it turns out, I was discarded by him exactly 2 years ago. This is my anniversary.
Uh-huh.
He purchased a Chinese girl online in a sex chat room,
Mm.
and I got discarded with no explanation whatsoever. If anybody's ever been in an abusive narcissistic relationship, they'll know the trauma that I speak of, especially when I didn't realize that's what I was in.
Yes, right,
Mhm.
right.
And the whole falsification of the whole relationship, the
Yeah.
level of fraud on his part, not on my part. The authentic channeling from Julius was very real,
Yes.
but also coming to realize that um, when you're attached to somebody or an energy and they're siphoning energy off of you all
Yes,
the
like
time.
narcissists
Yeah,
do,
yeah.
just so that the audience
And
knows.
you're in this survival, right? So as strong as I was channeling Julius at that time, there was this energy holding me back, right? Like I just couldn't quite get right. When this took place, I literally had two choices. I was either going to end my life, it was that severe for me, or with Julius's help, it was time to lay that Titanic down and take off, right?
Yes.
Yay. Well,
Yeah.
we're glad that you chose
Yeah.
the other.
Thank you. So 2 years of course, Julius's help, deep dive into narcissistic coaching and therapy, and actually getting certification to do that myself on top of the Julius piece.
Yeah,
Wow.
All
that's
of
a
the
great,
healing,
yeah,
all
understanding
the
just for
time.
people who don't know. I just wanted to give a lot of accolade to that as well, because that's
Yeah.
something that people don't always study. But once you do, it's amazing at what you can really realize with that amount of information
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah. Oh, so such a blessing all the way around. And for now this time period, what everything of course in perfect timing and sacred timing and synchronicities. We don't know what we're preparing ourselves for. We don't know what's coming. A lot of times in people's lives, the huge transformation comes with these massive tower moments where literally we don't think we're going to make it. I
Mm.
tell everybody, for me, it was like having surgery without anesthesia.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I bet. I
Yeah.
bet.
And
Mm-hmm.
the surrender that took place. So in that tragedy and in my heartbreak and in my trauma, I just surrendered. I'm like, here we go. And I don't know how to explain it. You hear
Yeah.
people say surrender. You hear people say it, and then we sit there and we go, okay, I'm surrendering. Okay, I'm surrendering, right? But there's a collapse that happens in that surrender. You almost just wait to see if you're going to wake up or not from it, right?
Wow.
And that's when Julius unleashed these processes that I now do, this energy process. So here's what I
Nice.
came to find out. Your audience is going to love this story. This is such a great story.
I love it.
Yay.
So in my relationship with Julius and in that marriage, that 17-year thing with this other person, and I'm not allowed to say his name, but I'll just leave it there.
There you go.
And
That's good.
yeah, I never asked Julius what my relationship with Julius was. I always, past lives, other timelines, right? Everybody always wanted to know who they were in relationship to Julius, and I'd always give that information, but I never asked for myself,
Uh-huh.
and I finally did, and this is what I found out. So Julius informed me that I was Arsinoe. Arsinoe was Cleopatra's 17-year-old sister
Okay.
who challenged Cleopatra for the role and lost.
Uh-huh.
And Cleopatra ordered Julius Caesar to take her to an island and kill her. And Julius Caesar did not kill her. She was clairvoyant and provided information for Julius on how to navigate war and how to go on your conscious journey and things of this nature. And she had abilities. So she could do healing, and she could do what we're going to be talking about today as the offering, which are these vaults. And suddenly, coming out of that download with Julius, which was about a 3-day download, I had this ability to move myself into a theta state and provide these experiences for people. So never before had that happened. All that energy was kind of holding me back, trying to kind of contain me.
Yeah.
And with the unleashment of that. And so over these last 2 years, there's this whole nother level of Julius with processes for me. I had never done that before.
Wow.
So very cool.
Yeah.
Now with this energy, right, we all know we got the horse energy coming in, everything's up leveling, finishing up, shedding, getting all that. Gosh, it's amazing time, right, to get all of this transformation unleashed with everybody. Everybody's going to unleash their stuff, but sometimes it's nice to have a little guidance, a little hand holding, a little support, like, here, let me hold you up, let's support you, rather than just running around. I always joke about it. We're like the people in the Godzilla movies running around, right, and Godzilla's coming and we just don't know where to go. And that's how a spiritual journey can feel.
Yeah,
like, right?
that feels right. Yeah. I did that yesterday.
Yeah. And like I said, it's just such an honor. The gratitude, the joy, the upliftment, everything continues to grow because I choose to focus on that, and which is what everybody else can do as well. But thank you for asking me that question. This is the first public forum that I have shared that on.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that.
And I guess it was just the right time for the question.
Yeah.
It was like she didn't really go into it. Now I'm curious because I need to walk through a fire like that. Is how I felt. I'm like, no, now I'm like, I'm good.
You're good.
Yeah.
It's
We'll
my
do it the
personality
slow
type,
way.
right? Just
Yeah.
jump off the cliff.
No, man.
Yeah. It was like jumping off a cliff.
Oh my hell. Yeah.
Do you know where Julius, like, is he in a galactic constellation or a collective? Do you know where he is?
Yeah, so once we reach a 6th level of consciousness, commonly known as Christ consciousness or hyper consciousness state, there's 7 levels of consciousness. Once we hit that 6th level, we move fully into the unity consciousness perspective. We drop everything separate and singular for us. So in that state of consciousness, it's a frequency that they reside. So Julius, of course, is the reference for the last embodied configuration that they held for reference purposes.
Okay.
Honestly, Jeneth, I don't know, back when we were doing the summits years ago, we had agents and things like that. And the agent that I had at the time was like, we need a name. Like, we need a name for this trip.
Oh, yeah. You told us that.
Julius narrative unleashed. But so Julius lives in a frequency, a state of consciousness. So there isn't location. Locations are holographic projections based on perspectives. But so they always refer to themselves as we, as a broader consciousness, rather than the reduction of their consciousness that was versed in so many lifetimes of singularity, like we do, where we singulate our personalities and we have, separate experiences, and we hold true to that and we create realities for that for ourselves. But this is just a higher perspective now that they stay pretty consistent in. Because everything is happening in the now and there is no before and there's no after, which gets a little bit crazy for us. There's still versions of them that I'm sure exist, playing out, different roles. But as far as the version or the frequency or the state that Julius is that I channel,
Yeah.
it is that sixth level of consciousness perspective. So does that
Nice.
answer your question? Okay?
Yeah, I feel
Yeah.
like the follow-up question is, and you are a part of Julius.
Right.
Yes.
I think so. Even though, of course, I'm a mom and a grandma and
Yeah.
I'm here, and doing all
Sure.
of that too. But yeah, leaning more and more of my life's awareness into honoring that relationship. more and
Nice.
more. Yeah.
Uh-huh. I love it so much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's get, do you
Yeah, we
want to
should.
get into it?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
So if you have any questions that you want answered with Casey and Julius, go ahead and raise your hand and using the here or ask your question live on the chat. I can read that out for you. Last time we had so many hands raised. So go ahead and get in line now. Get those queued up now. You want to go ahead and take the first one?
Well, yeah. So this summit is called Crazy, Rich, and Free. And I've been asking the speakers about what is the vibe that comes up when you put all the words together or separate.
Yeah. So, Master, everything, as you know, words and spelling and language are limitations, extreme
Of
limitations.
course.
And mostly, unfortunately, limitations that keep you bound and limited. For in all possibility of thought and all possibility of emotion, Master, there is no explanation into the infinite that has not occurred yet. So all words are old and describe a previous state. And anytime anybody refers to their current state of being through language is actually dispositioning themselves into a state of previous. Does
I
that make
gotcha.
sense?
Yep.
Yes.
However, in honor of understanding and translation, we speak with language and we speak with references to the best of our ability, but also encouraging everyone to always go much broader in their own thoughts and allow a broader interpretation even from what they already currently perceive. Then at least we are moving with momentum, with the energy of the moment, of the now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
As words trail in all that you are to prevail, of all that you are as source, everything is intended and designed to lead you back to the truth that you are the all. For every single thought and every perception, Master, is, and there isn't a thought or perception that isn't that which is source. For source is all of it. Now, this is a profound truth because this eliminates right and wrong.
Mm-hmm.
It eliminates good and bad. Those are perceptions of an ongoing truth that you are the all. And they are used because people can't grasp the concept of the all. So in your process, in your growth, in your coming back to remembering that which you are, you will utilize infinite pathways that will include teachings and writings and language and music and frequency and resonance and mantras and mudras and anything that can spark or trigger an alignment, which is a memory. So we honor all of it. And of course, because you are Source Master, as each all of you are, anything that you set an intention to behind a phrase, a wording, or a suggestion, or a request is. So shall anything that you place in the order of Language Master lead everyone back to the knowing that they are the all.
Nice.
Wow. So as we've redefined the name Hout Hustle,
Yeah.
it has an intention behind it, even though the words are triggering sometimes to people we found.
Yeah, it is. Here's the truth. Triggers are all about limitations.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
They are. You don't ever get triggered into expansiveness. You get inspired into expansiveness.
Ah, Dios mío, that's so true.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the best lines ever.
Yeah. So when a trigger occurs, you are showing yourself something that is limited in you. Another
Mhm.
word for that is something that you judge.
Yes,
Yes,
yes, yes, yes, yes,
absolutely.
yes.
And
And
it's
where
an
we judge
opportunity.
creates limitation.
Yes,
Yeah.
and it's an opportunity to go, hey, what is this about?
Right.
I should
Right.
dive in deeper and see why I'm so yeah around it.
And we
Well,
understand that some people do things with intention of triggering. We get that.
mhm.
There's people
Uh-huh.
that we do. But
Yeah.
if you are peace and calm, balanced, and full of equilibrium, you won't get triggered even through the intention and
Yeah.
design of somebody to do so. So it still always comes back to an opportunity of gazing upon oneself. But your altered ego is afraid of that authenticity. It is very afraid of that journey, and so it will get angry and defensive. And so you know, Master, that angry judgment and defensiveness of any thought or emotion is a demonstration of fear. And since you are
Hmm.
all thought and emotion, it actually shows a space that you are afraid about yourself in.
Uh-huh. Wow. I don't even know where to go from that.
It's interesting. Well, what we can tell you is this: it really sets an intentional and awakened practice by you, right? So as you
Hmm.
read things, even things that you would say, this doesn't resonate with me. Okay. So let's say somebody has a theory
Uh-huh.
and you would
Yes.
say,
We
this
do
just
that.
doesn't
We've done
resonate
that.
with me. It doesn't mean
Yeah.
that you think it's wrong or bad. That would be a judgment. You would just simply say it doesn't
Yeah.
resonate. Can you imagine
Yeah,
the
but I could
peace
see how
and
people
calm?
would use that. Sorry to interrupt. I could see how people would use that as the same thing. It
Right.
just doesn't resonate,
It's
you
true.
know.
It's true.
Yeah.
They're just
It
trying to sound metaphysical.
it took me years to figure out the difference between what was really light and heavy because I just thought that if I wanted it, it was light.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
It's in alignment. It's in
Yes.
alignment. It's what's in alignment, what is not in alignment. But even all of this wordage that we just used, and our intention is not to confuse anybody or even to exacerbate everybody's minds or thoughts, but to just get you thinking, right?
Mhm.
There's always something to perceive, and there is always a witness from within to be regulating and disciplining and choosing who you are, no matter what is going on. Can you imagine walking with that much awareness? Seems like it would be
No.
exhausting, but we would actually tell you it is mindful and joyous.
Right, because it's the now. It's the now moment.
Yeah, so we were just talking about that yesterday. What a great build on that. At the start of the call, you mentioned that this was a really amazing time. Were you able to go into that?
Sure.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah. So the very first thing that we must state is time is an illusion. It
yes,
is not real, but we know everybody lives in a time frame
sure.
that they have created for the holographic projection. So we honor that. Okay. What is known by the majority in your time that you have created as 2026, as you know, it actually hasn't quite occurred yet. The Gregorian calendar was designed to get you out of alignment of the flow of the energies. Our calendar, or the Julian calendar, is more in alignment. And so that time actually starts around February-ish, about
Uh-huh.
mid-February, as we move into this new space. So you're in a great space right now of opportunity,
Mm.
where this energy is one of the most transformable energies
Mm.
in over 100-year timeline on the
Ooh.
earth. And now let us explain what we mean. Each year, of course, as time shifts or energy shifts, there's an opportunity for shift and change. But for the last almost decade, Masters, that energy hasn't been huge. It seems like things just keep getting carried on, right? Just carried on. We're just carrying it on. We're hoping for the best. We're hoping that things are going to get better, right?
Yeah.
But to go from what is now known as the snake to a horse is a metamorphosis of opportunity that you can either climb onto or not. You could sit there and just feed the horse in the stall, keep him nice and calm, keep him satisfied, or you can get on that horse and take off, right?
Woo-wee.
Yes.
Yeah. And we're right here, right? We're right here. Everybody's been waiting for something, right? You've been hearing all the promises for decades now of this or that or this or that. And everybody's like, okay, I'm ready. I'm ready. And it's now the shedding and coming to the knowing that things have finished. Your altered ego mind, oftentimes, masters, in the human experience, will demand that things finish the way they want them to.
Mm-hmm.
And until they do, they're not finished.
Oh, gotcha.
Now is a space of realizing, I think that's finished. Even though it didn't play out the way I thought I wanted it to, I'm going to let it just be done so I can make this room for this extraordinary, because what you cling to can become heavy on the journey of possibility. And gosh, you've been done with a lot of things for a long time, but you've literally been trying to revitalize the roadkill on the side of the road.
I know, boo.
And now we're ready to just sweep that along, let the little buzzards take care of the carnage, right? And clean the streets and take off on that horse. And your timing of this show is also in alignment, as is everybody joining at this
that's exciting.
Feeling that, feeling that, right?
Yes,
So that's what we would say.
Yay.
Yeah, it was funny. Ambajam came in yesterday with a similar prediction.
And then someone else was saying, oh no, is it Emily Dexter was saying, this is a great time for
Katie Sutton.
Sorry, it was Katie Sutton. How funny.
Yeah.
Katie Sutton said yesterday that, Emily's not even on this summit. Katie Sutton said that, the doorways, right, we're trying to keep both doors open, and we cannot go through this one with this one still wide open. And might be some people that will, may not come with us through here. And it was a lot of that moving into the next and having and then releasing some of them from before.
Yeah. So what happens in between timelines and lifetimes is you and others create what we perceive to be vaults in your energetic field where things are locked down.
Yeah.
And imprisoned. And they're all about altered ego, altercations, lots of trauma and things like that. Now's the time to have the energy to be able to release that. That's one of the things that we do energetically for people. But it's all the potential for release, shedding, okay? Sprouting of the wings, if you will, coming out of the cocoon. Right now, you have more of your holographic energy assisting you than you have probably ever in this timeline. Not that you get to escape doing your work, because you have to do it, but it's really nice to have that energy frequency there. It's like having a smoothie with a little honey in it, right?
Liz says, Liz says, oh yeah, and Dana says 1,000% feeling this energy deeply. Good.
So I've been playing with this word called avatar embodiment. And there's something that we both feel like, I don't know if it's avatar embodiment that doesn't feel exactly light when we describe our humanness in this world. Right. You just use the word holographic. I wanted to kind of, see how do you see us operating as a soul and also as a human or an avatar embodiment?
Yeah, so what's interesting, Master, is your avatar embodiment or your costume that you choose to carry, that you embody and carry around, has a frequency to it. And the more low frequency or low consciousness that you are, you literally create this body to be heavy and difficult to see yourself through.
Oh, wow.
Oh, interesting. Say that again. Yeah.
So in other words, the lower level of consciousness that you are, your costume's thick. It's dense. It's more matter than light.
Yep, that makes sense.
The more enlightened you become,
I love it.
The more transparent the body, the more ability to see oneself.
And become
Wow.
lighter. I love it, love it, love it.
Wow. So, what is your thought about a physical detox to get lighter?
Yeah,
It,
so detoxing is the most amazing thing. It detoxes on so many levels. So not just the three-dimensional avatar, the spirit, the soul, the
Mhm.
energy, the thoughts, the emotions. It is a truth.
Wow.
Depending on your perspective of all of that, it is at this time absolutely necessary on the Earthship because of all the poisoning that has been taking
Yes.
place. If the Earthship had basically been kind of left alone, your body's own filtering systems would naturally take care of most of that. But they've been so over clogged, overly harmed, overly poisoned that literally the productivity has reduced itself. And so the toxins are sticking in the body, the parasites, the metals, the
Yes, I know.
plastics, and it affects the brain, it affects the soft
Mhm.
tissues. And if your brain is literally shut down, Master, how can you think broad thoughts?
Yes. Agreed.
And we know that each aspect of your physical costume is an energetic holding pot for your emotions. Each organ will hold and capture and store different traumas or different emotional perspective,
Yeah.
limitations, or expansiveness. So if you do a proper detox, each day the detox will move and clean through your body different organs, allowing for different traumas to be released, different emotions to be experienced. So a proper detox can be very emotional as well.
Mhm.
And you take everything in consideration. While you are having a physical experience, you have to honor the three components of that which you are existing on in the hologram, which is body, mind, spirit. And
Mm.
a detox should hit each one of those three markers. And if it does, amazing things can occur.
Yeah.
Those on an enlightened and high conscious journey usually do these things very quietly
Mm.
on a regular basis.
Yeah.
Sometimes they want to talk about them, and other times they just kind of keep it in, within their own practice. But one of the key issues when you hit a particular level of consciousness, Master, is to prioritize your physical health. And that will be everything for you because you will
Yeah.
realize that your frequency is everything. So does that
Yes.
Yeah.
support your theory?
Yes, yes, that does support our theory. I hadn't heard it
And the
said so
motivation.
beautifully and a little motivation behind it.
I love it. I
Yeah,
do want to get to some
some
callers.
callers,
Yeah.
right. Let's go ahead and take a couple callers. Alicia, you're up. Hmm, my mic back up.
You can go ahead and unmute.
Alicia, could you unmute?
If not,
We
we
can.
can go to the next one.
Uh, Savannah? I don't know.
Savanya? I have no
Savannah?
idea.
Hey, Svetlana.
Oh,
What
that's
is it,
pretty.
That's
Silana?
not so easy
That
to
is pretty.
pronunciate it. Yeah.
Fabulous.
I would like to ask you, Casey. The guide told me that I have to overcome 5 challenges in order to reach my purpose to help other people. Um, I believe that it could be talking about 5 years. What challenges it can be, and what will my life look like in 5 years if it's about 5 years?
Okay. Well, the very first thing that we have to tell you, Master, is you have to find the answers to that yourself in order for it to be effective. Because our perspective of what that is may not be your truth. We would advise you to not be asking anybody else what it is that you are designed to experience through your own self. But we're not going to leave you hanging on a cliff completely there. What we can tell you is this: your journey is about dropping judgment of all thought, and there's way more than five. As you work through mastering non-judgment of all thought, your frequency grows, your life changes. It becomes far more expansive, more glorified, more joyous than you could even possibly conjure in your current state of frequency. So we don't believe in games and we don't believe in puzzles that you don't understand. And we don't believe in teasing people with, oh, there's a mysterious something that you should be doing and good luck finding out what that is. We believe in actionable truth. And that is that you move from low frequency to high frequency based on your perspective. And your perspective is one of love or fear. And it has nothing to do with a 5-year prediction because time is an illusion. But with your position of the now and your dedication to love yourself, all thought possibilities, and shift your frequency, which will shift your reality, and everything that you desire to become, Master, is that which you may have. So never limit yourself by somebody else's thought of what they think that might be for you. Please, Master, be in fully creative position and design that which brings you joy.
Yeah, thank you very much. And then one quick question more. I'm struggling with my voice. So it was more than 1.5 months ago. I lost my voice, and I try to do lots of things and healing, and I don't know what to do more because it's still I speak a bit and it's again disappeared, and I know that it's something wrong with me, that I made something that I create this problem. And same stuff with my nose. It's chronical, and I understand that it's prana, and it's a very important voice, and nose breathing. It's the most important things.
Yeah, it's all about self-expression, Master. You're just not speaking your truth, or you're not allowed to speak your truth. Okay? So either you are wanting to speak your truth and someone around you is judging or stifling that process, or you're holding your truth back for some reason. Either you're holding your truth back because you're afraid that it either might offend somebody or rub somebody the wrong way, or you will be punished, or you will be discarded for speaking your full truth. So anything related to your throat and self-expression has to do with fear of speaking your truth. And so as you grow in your confidence and allowing yourself to speak all that you are, everything will run fluidly with high and clear resonance attached to it.
Yeah, thank you. But I'm working on this. But how it's when I will get back 100% my voice, because it's difficult.
Yeah, it's keep speaking your truth, Master. That's totally up to you. It's totally up to you. And here's the thing. You just already declared it a limitation by telling us that it's difficult. That's your perspective. And so therefore it is.
It's because I believe in this that
Oh, you don't believe it, you know it. You just said
I know.
it's difficult. So
Yeah.
change your knowing. Okay? It is done. You are doing it. Move on to the next thing. Stop thinking about it and just do it. Okay? You are Source, Master, and you are experiencing and creating that which you know. And you have already declared in the last 1 minute and 37 seconds that you know that you have all of these problems. So we would suggest that you change your knowing.
Thank you. What about nose?
Yeah. So this is a huge lesson for the whole call, and I hope you guys are really paying attention. If you have a point of view, even if it's hard, if it's difficult, if it's easy, if it's, money is the root of all evil, whatever it is, right? If you have that, you will always create your life as that. Your point of view will always create your reality. Casey says your perceptions will always create your reality. And I just feel like,
Even on the things
when
that
you
you
really
don't.
get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm so glad that you said that, though.
Yeah.
What people don't understand, or they're coming to remember the understanding that your source. Okay?
Yes.
This is beyond most people's comprehension. They still believe that there's something out there creating things. You're the out there. You're the out there. You're the
Yeah.
universe. You're the
Yep.
stars. You're the dimensions. You're the realms. Okay. We know that you can't remember that, and that therefore you detached from believing that you can use all of that. Okay. But that ultimately is the truth. So, in order to help with people, we can encourage people to sometimes even just go to quantum physics, where they will tell you that the observer creates the reality that they experience.
Yeah, that's exactly. I love learning about quantum physics and how it's now
And
supporting.
metaphysics feeds quantum physics, which feeds science. Okay. So
Yes.
you are the metaphysics, and then quantum physics explains it to the people who don't understand that they're source. And then quantum physics explains it to people who are programmed to believe that they only have a singular life.
Right. Right.
So, it's a trickling effect. But anything that you can consistently use, masters, to remind yourself that your perception creates your reality.
Yeah.
Isn't
Yeah.
that awesome?
Yes,
Yeah.
it
That's
is.
the
It's
best
empowering.
news.
Yes, it is. It is. It makes me want to do cartwheels. Like
Yeah.
I get to choose.
Yeah. And we don't want anybody to beat themselves up as they come back to this. It's like, oh, don't do that.
No,
Don't
right.
judge
Yeah. Thank you. I'm glad you said that. I'm so glad you said that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really important for us to really get that we created it and we might not like it, but we still created it. And we
Well,
created it usually for a purpose.
Uh-huh.
always for wisdom, master.
Always.
For wisdom.
Okay.
And we also want you to encourage to um, limit or eliminate judging what you have created.
Oh,
So
thank
even though
you.
you said, you don't like it, don't say that. You love everything, because you
Yeah.
cannot change anything you don't like. It will cling to you, and
Yeah.
it will solidify itself. You change with high frequency, which is love. So you appreciate and love everything that
Okay.
has
Yeah.
grown your wisdom.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Like,
When I was in a channeling session, I got this message that they were like, you keep coming to us for help, but we're always helping. Like everything that you are putting out there, we are, rushing to give you. Can you elaborate on that? Because I kind of felt like, I was like, but I am asking for help in this case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So really what is our perception is that the old adage, you don't even have to ask, it is done, right?
Uh-huh.
Even the asking is a slowed down process. That means you're asking and then you're going to wait to receive, instead of it just being.
Being.
So all
Ah.
things are in the moment of now. That all
Mhm.
things are. You don't have to go anywhere to get them. You're in the super store of alignment, right? Every thought and every emotion is right here. But humans have been programmed to think that there's a future, or think that there's a process, or think that it's over here. And how do I get there? Like the beautiful
Yep.
woman who said, well, what do I get to experience 5 years from now? We're like, 5 years? How about right now?
Right.
It's
thank
But you
you.
got to be it right
Thank
now.
you.
It's
You do
right
have to be it now.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, so be that now.
There's an energy behind that truth. So if you were to literally envision for yourselves, masters, that let's say the now sits here, and then this is before, and then this is after.
Mm.
Turbo quantum plasma energy omni-quantum energy is in the now.
Mhm.
And then this is kind of turbocharged, and then this is just a combustible engine, right? Like this is slower stuff out here.
Yeah.
It's right in here is where the magic is. So it would be our interpretation of what you are speaking, master, that your high version of yourself is like, it's right here. We're already right here, okay? But what you do, master, is you become aware of it. Okay,
Mhm.
so asking for it means that you're questioning whether it is. Ooh,
Yes.
did you just grasp what we said?
Yes, you're doubting.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then you create your own way. Nice.
Burn.
Not
The
really.
doubt creates
It's
the
okay.
gap.
Yeah.
Because it's a practice. It's a
Yeah.
practice. You know,
Yeah.
it's like suddenly learning to
But
try
now
to
we
write
know.
with your left hand or your right hand if you're left-handed, right? It's going to take practice. It's going to take
Yeah.
practice. But it's just a question of whether you choose to start that practice.
Thank you.
Absolutely. All right, let's take a couple more. Alicia, you're up.
Okay, thank you. This is so exciting. And I mean, there's just so much information. Everything she says, everything you say for everybody. And my computer froze up. So my question is, I'm really happy with how I've navigated my multi-talents and my multifacetedness. And once again, you know, and because I've had a lot of years behind me, I'm at another like crossroads, and there are always like multiple crossroads, and I'll probably travel a few of them, with one having a very dramatic ending. But I typically respond these days versus reacting, and I can be very wordy, as you can tell. So I'm wondering if you're able to, or if this is a good question. I'm going to focus. I just started to put the idea or to get a platform for a website so I can promote my service. And so I'm trying to tap into I'm wondering if you're able to even tap into my essence, because I can be so wordy and I can to put people in a coma. I hope I haven't done that with any of you yet. To help me narrow it down, like what the wording should be to describe myself and my service.
Master, you always want to tell everybody what's in it for them.
What's in it for them? Okay.
Yeah, that's it. And with authenticity, not with marketing garbage.
No, that's
What's
not.
in it for them?
No.
Why
Okay.
would I come and interact with you? What's in it for me? That's not what we want your attitude to be. That's what your draw is going to be. Okay. So, but that's how people are. People are, as they are seeking because they feel that they are in need. So they're going to be looking for something to fill their needs. So you have to offer up to people what's in it for them in how they're going to interact with you. And you want to cut your words back by a third.
Yes.
Because you don't impress us because you don't need to.
Thank you so much.
And if you feel like you need to, that's not your audience. So reel it back a little bit. You want simple, you want clean and clear, you want to what's in it for them. Then once the interaction occurs, Master, you may blend and sparkle and sprinkle your glitter and rainbows and sunshine and lyrical and musical and metaphysical, all that you want. But you got to get them seated in front of you first. Does that help you?
That's brilliant. I appreciate that so much. Thank you guys for calling on me. This is really a fabulous show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You.
Okay, Liz, you can go ahead and unmute.
Thank you. Hi. I don't have a particular question. I'm just curious what surface is up for you.
Master, it's too broad. You've got to come up with a question because we're tapped into everybody at this state. So right now, what are you thinking of? What is your top rung on your ladder of life right now that you have going on? Tell us right now.
Freeing myself to align myself with my soul's purpose.
And there it is. Okay, so how do you do that? Stop judging yourself and stop questioning how you do it. This is how you do it, okay? You do not judge any thoughts that come into your field. You choose a perception of love to experience those thoughts through, and you are in a high resonance. And you stick to that practice, and you're going to start to change. You're going to change every aspect of your life. Then you're going to be ready to dive into all the craziness that you are. But you literally, to create change, you have to break patterns of the way that you think and the way that you perceive. You don't understand how much of a prison those things can be. So you intentionally shift the way you look at something. So this makes everything new. So in other words, everything's new. We want you to literally awaken every morning and like you just landed, right? Like literally you just dropped yourself in your bedroom or dropped yourself in your house and everything around you is brand new. And the awe and wonder and enthusiasm and joy that will bring. That's magic. And Master, when you can start to unravel the limitations in your life and spin it in a new direction into extraordinary, all things are on their way to you. Does that help you?
Yes, it does. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was fabulous. I feel like that's almost a formula for anyone looking for more purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was
one
a
of
great
us here.
question
Yeah.
on the fly, Liz. Thank you. Good job.
One of the things I asked Ambajam, who really helped us emerge into the power of now. Actually, I'm going to ask that second. The thing that came through as I was saying that was we talk a lot about time and we talk a lot about timelines. And I would like to know a little more about your perception. I know that channelers are saying there's going to be like global UFO information in 2027 and various things like this. How do those predictions work when we're truly in the now moment?
So, Master, of course, you're talking about many, many different types of frequency realities. Many
Oh, I
different types,
see.
Yeah.
right?
Like multiverse.
It is.
Right, because it could be a
Don't
whole bunch of
understand.
verses of possibility.
Okay.
Yeah. And you don't understand because everybody is going to hear what they want to hear.
Oh, I believe that.
Okay.
So even in this conversation that we're having here, somebody is going to be able to grasp massive amounts of information and expansiveness, and somebody might just walk away with, "Oh, I need to stop judging myself."
Mm-hmm.
And you'll be like, but what about all the information, rest of the information that was there? Okay. So as far as UFOs trying to say that. We want to assist in our perception, okay? A UFO is an unidentified flying object. We will assure you that your own government has more of those than you even realize. You have no freaking idea how many flying objects your own government has. They're all
Yeah.
UFOs, okay? As
Yeah.
far as aliens go, nobody's from the earth. Nobody is. You didn't walk out of the sea. Darwin, or, the theory of, you coming from a microbe and then, sprouting. You didn't come from the earth.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
This is a earth ship. This is a space station. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody embodied themselves in an enormous amount of configuration and came. And through reincarnation and the changing and the shifting and the blending and the spreading of whatever, a numerous amount of species are here already, and all of you come and go. We will assure you that the human race leaves this earth ship in large numbers on a regular basis and returns, some against their will, some very willing. So we think the whole theory that you guys have designed is not accurate. You're in a constant flux. Seriously. Think about a space station in outer space.
Yeah.
And, the Klingons and the Ferengi. And this is all that you are, Master.
Yeah.
Now, is everybody going to get that information? Well, they already are. It just depends on who you're listening to. You know that.
Yes.
It actually is pretty broad. Is mainstream going to ever say it? Not likely, but we're going to say that it's about to be torn apart and taken down. And mostly there aren't going to be television networks. There's going to be, just castings. Okay. So networks are not likely to survive a lot of the cabal or the elite takedown. We don't want to make this conversation all about that, but you know what we're talking about.
Yes. And this is a very cool audience. So, so we're okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you need to make sure that you're getting your information, and you will be able to tell as to whether you are getting it from an organic, which is somebody who can authentically provide expansive information for you, or a being that's programmed, okay, whether they're a hybrid or a synthetic or, something like that, and they've just been programmed with information. And you're going to get more and more refined on your own information highway and aligning with the truth of all that there is. That is coming as you are less and less restricted from being able to do that.
Yeah.
That's your answer. Now, is that occurring right now? Yes, it is occurring right now. You already have interdimensional portals. You already have stargates. Okay, the airline industry is not going to be non-existent. You don't need it. Okay, there are going to be so many changes. They're already there. They're kind of behind the curtain or below the surface. Okay, so they're already there. And if you think about the extraordinary shift in just this timeline of 100 years, Master, it's remarkable. You've gone from public display of horse and buggy to cell phones, to a quantum financial system, to med beds in 100 years. Like that's out on the surface, right? So to answer your question, we would say it's already out there and disclosed, but the more you change your perspective of how that information links itself together, you're going to spread the information. Huh? Did you hear what we just said?
Yes.
That was such a good one, right? Right. This little line, right?
I know, I love it.
Right.
But you're going to spread the information out. And then it's going to be much more broad and easily to perceive, right?
Oh my
Yes.
goodness.
And thank you, because it takes, this is the reason why we do the show, and this is the reason why we have you on. And because we want to be a part of like this, more information sharing for sure. And I remember when we first started, and back when y'all were even talking, like this stuff was mind blowing, and then nobody else was really ever sharing about it, and I felt so isolated. And so that's what we want to is create more connection around, some of the woo, right? Like let's just have it be more out there, and let it not be so taboo, if you will.
Yeah. Well, you are woo. What's so funny is people are resistant to what they are, right?
I know, right?
You're energy. So it's like, oh, no. I don't want to know anything about myself. I don't want to take the most limited version, most judged version, most suffering, most angry, most traumatized version of myself and hold true to that.
Right. Well, we are getting close to time, and I have to probably duck
run
out.
but we'll go ahead and if you guys want to take a few more questions, we can go ahead and do that. And I definitely want to share your special offer.
Right.
Thanks, Liaka.
Yeah, thank y'all.
Okay. Yeah. So our special offer is
Here. Wait. Let me pull it up first.
Okay.
Let's talk about it right now, and then we'll wrap.
Yeah.
All right. What a beautiful page.
Yeah. To tap into those vault sessions we were talking about. So you have 7 energy bodies, or your toroidal field around your physical body. And in these bodies of energy are blocks and obstacles. We see them as vaults that can be opened and taken down. And so this is our number one process that people have done, and you are going to get a session with us. These are private sessions. These are not group sessions. These are one-on-one private sessions where we're going to go in and we're going to help open up a vault for you that has to do with one of the biggest thresholds of an obstacle for you on your journey, on your knowing who you are, on your unleashing things for yourself. It's a very, very powerful process, and it's like energetic surgery. It is one of the most effective experiences that we hear people report back to us. And we're actually going to add a second session. So believe it or not, you're going to have 2 sessions with us. And on the second one, we're going to blow your light field up, resonate it, clean it, expand it, and leave you in a very, very high frequency state. So it's 2 sessions. One's like surgery, and the second one is recovery from the surgery to project you along your way. And the timing is perfect for this. We could spend a whole hour or more talking very specifically about this process. Our team has done a really good job of going in and explaining a lot of this. And these vaults can be created by you through your decision to ignore something. A lot of times you have such traumatic things happen for you that you just can't deal with them. So you shut them down, you stifle them, you stuff them away, and then they accumulate. from timeline to timeline, lifetime to lifetime, and now they're at a collapsing point, or they've turned to stone for you and you just can't get them moved. We're going to go in and help you move that. Now, everybody has hundreds of these vaults. We don't want you to get discouraged by that number count, although you can have many sessions, and many people do. Even one session can make a huge difference for you in getting a movement in your energetic field. It's just remarkable, just remarkable. So
Wow.
if something like that is resonating with you, this time period right now is the added bonus, where you've got this shedding energy, this window right here, where you've got that additional energy momentum coming in. You're going to be loved. We're going to love you. We're going to take care of you. We're going to make you feel safe. We're going to make you feel empowered. We will tell you, though, that the first session can be emotional. It can hit very, very hard, but we're going to hold you in light, and we're going to make sure you feel safe. And we can assure you that you are going to be choosing this vault, meaning your soul is going to collaborate with us. You will not have an experience that you are not prepared for. Your soul is going to give us the appropriate one for you, so you don't have to be afraid of that. You don't have to think, oh God, I'm going to relive this trauma for myself. We won't allow that. You are in a very, very safe place. And isn't it lovely to be loved, right? And understood and unleashed, and then polished up and shined up and sent on your way. And we want to have the opportunity to touch you more than once. So we're making this offering to you.
Wow. And there's also some videos and audios, or is
Yeah,
that
we do teaching. So our
okay?
primary aspect is we take students through processes of growing their consciousness. Our students in our academy have been with us, some of them for many years. These are a sampling of some of the courses and the classes that you can experience with us as well. They're always going to support you on your conscious journey, and they can be listened to over and over and over again. If you're inspired, you can come to our website and join us for some more of those, but this will give you an opportunity to know yourself a little bit more.
Fabulous? Wow. So 2 sessions with Casey plus supplemental. What a great offer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fabulous. If you're looking for the offer, you can find it at houthustle.com/Casey with a K, Kasey. You can also find it on the live page at houthustle.com/live. Just look under the speaker's picture. All right. I don't know if these are questions, but I'm going to read them anyway. Christopher said, I've heard of people working with med beds that activate 12 strands of DNA. We are evolving into a triple helix rather than a double.
No. So
Okay.
we offer an activation. Your body has 3 spiral helixes, not just one. And
Okay.
so the bars on the helix are not concerned. It's the activation of all 3 spiral helixes. Now, the med beds have many designs to them, And med beds are going to be used with different sonic frequencies, different sound frequencies, and different quantum frequencies, depending on the ratio of what you want or choose to expand. So the cool thing is that each user does have free will and choice. There's handheld devices. Eventually, everybody will have wands in their bag to fix things. You'll have one in your house. You'll have a gateway. There'll be med beds, put into homes of all kinds of healings. But the physical body will be taken back to light and reconfigured. So we're going to support that your DNA strands are very exhausted. They're so exhausted. And really, you just need the unleashment of what your body is fully designed for. So you are not a 3-dimensional body with 1 DNA spiral helix. You are 3 and 3. And
Okay.
that's what this will involve. Does that help you?
Is there a way for us to currently activate them, or is
Yes,
it?
we have a process to help to activate those. You can check that out on our website.
Oh, cool.
And then that can help you at least begin that process if that's something you don't want to wait for, or start the initiative for you. It is an exciting time. And we know that everybody is so enthusiastic about the potential of these devices. But the truth is, Masters, you create your experience. So there's lots of things that you can do where you either will not ever even need one of those devices, but at the very least, you're going to be able to hit a lot of progression with or without them. And we would suggest you don't sit around and wait.
Absolutely. Dana asks, she said, my counsel recently said that we won't be expanding vertically, but horizontally.
So, Master, we're going to say that there is no direction. You sit in the expansiveness of the all, and directions are holographic projections. So that's what we will say.
Yeah. Wow. Let's see what other question. And then Renee has a question on the chat here. So I'm going to go ahead and bring her up. Renee, what's your question?
My question is simple. I made a drawing last night and they have a lot of symbolism, so I often have to look things up. And one thing I looked up was a leaf in the drawing, and it was a laurel leaf. And in order for me to figure out what it was, I looked up Julius Caesar. So I'm just curious if there's any significance.
It is a life force. It is a life force and is a pattern woven in the aspects of consciousness out on the battlefield.
Thank you.
Okay. That was simple. All right. I'm going to ask the question that I've been trying to find clarity on. I have a hip joint that is ill, right? It's just it's degrading and it's not working properly. When and how I've worked with every energy healer that I've been inspired to work with. I ask my body, I now channel, so I channel frequencies, and I'm still like kind of coming to this place on what do I do if I do need a hip replacement and somebody cuts in my body? Like, when do I make that choice? And how do I make it from truly my soul's preference instead of just going, I'm tired of this and it's not working or something like that, which I've never thought it wouldn't work. I was always been expecting the miracle.
Well, first of all, that may be one of your problems too, is you just simply expect that regeneration is miraculous rather than average or normal. Okay. So we're still going to hold that your perspective has everything to do with your experience.
Okay.
Here's the truth. Everybody will make those decisions at some point. Excuse us. Many people will make the decisions about the action of replacement for comfort reasons and for mobility reasons. We do appreciate the fact of utilizing energies and healing practices to the point where you finally decide, I'm just going to go ahead and have a surgery and a replacement. Those decisions, there's no right or wrong timing for that, Master. It's all about the way that it feels for you, because here is the truth. An artificial hip won't keep you from raising your consciousness. We wouldn't say that that's necessarily true. It'll weigh your body down. You'll have to work a lot of frequency through your body. And if we're talking about the med beds, you're gonna have to worry about that anyway, because it's gonna go away anyway. What we can tell you is,
I just should have been born 20 years later.
well, it's all about degenerative issues, right? You know, your body's been poisoned. All of your nutrients have been extracted from your foods.
Yeah.
All of your nutrients have been extracted from your nutritional supplements.
Yes.
Okay. The energy behind it, as we spoke to you about it before, is your fear of moving forward because you're afraid of leaving someone or something behind. So you are fighting your own movement. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Literally, that's what it is. So we would tell you, if you're going to work on the energy of it, that you need to work on releasing the fear of your movement. Meaning that your moving is going to cause something bad or limiting to happen, and keep shifting that into that your movement is beneficial. It's beneficial for everyone and everything. But humans are very afraid of the people that they are attached to not being with them on their journey or into their expansiveness, and they'll hold themselves back. So you basically have put a cage or a bear trap, on your hips
Uh-huh.
and your knees as well, because we'll tell you that whichever
Yeah.
the hip it is, your knee and your ankle also have issues. Okay.
Yes.
And so you've got a whole leg trap going on. So if
Mm.
you want to go into a deeper dive psychologically, which is all about your thoughts and your perceptions, we would ask you to consider, not here on this public platform,
It
Master,
would be
but in your
fine.
privacy of what frightens you to move forward. And if you
See, and
deal
I
with
don't know that I even have that anymore. I know that I used to have that,
Mhm, mhm,
right? Like insanely had
mhm,
it,
mhm.
even
And if it was
within,
insanely, it's likely to still linger.
yeah. So
And it's
one
okay.
other question can I ask if nothing really comes up when I ask that question? Like, where am I still holding myself back or moving forward? Like, is there other questions that can like awaken this?
You have a fear of what you're really afraid of, Master, is the punishment for moving forward. That's what we'll tell you.
But that could mean like because it does hurt after I walk for 10,000
You've
steps.
been punished for
Okay.
moving forward.
All right. I'll dive into that.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
All right. Thank you. All right. Any other questions you got, guys? Or is this a wrap? All right. I'm going to let this be. Casey, any last words?
It is the most amazing thing, is it not? For thought to vibrate at a frequency of matter and therefore be able to experience thought through that dimension. It's extraordinary. You are, as source, encompass every infinite possibility and more to know yourselves. That's the most extraordinary thing. And when you are ever doubting your capacities, your abilities, your talents, your projection, and your potential, please listen to this conversation again and remind yourself of the grace and the honor and humility and adventurism it takes to be in that knowing. We are here to remind you of that in all ways, always. So we send you with nothing but love and extraordinary. And thank you, Master, for this interaction. Until the next time, as it will be.
Thank you. Can I ask a Casey question real quick?
Yes.
So when you play in the human, how often do you feel that you go to Julius on a daily basis?
Yeah. So, they're kind of always hovering,
Yeah.
but they don't interfere. So people always think that
Yeah.
I somehow get some kind of a pass in my life because I can just turn to Julius for answers, and they don't work that way.
Uh-huh.
I get to navigate my way just like all of you do.
Mm.
I do have a benefit of a loving supportive system as I, excuse me, trip over my own, whatever, like everybody else does.
Right.
But they don't interfere.
Mhm.
I used to be a little worried that I wasn't going to be able to navigate my own course, and I didn't want to give that
Yeah.
up, honestly. Nobody wants to give up, their sovereignty and things like that. So Julius has a really great way of kind of just always being in the background. And it
Mhm.
usually just takes a thought and an intention to bring them in, but it's not like I'm just constantly channeling all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is nice, right? Because like I said, I don't
Like,
want to be taken over. I get to enjoy my life also.
I love that.
Yeah,
That's fabulous.
yeah.
Lots of comments on the chat. Thank you so much, Casey. New perceptive. I can't even read right now. To absorb and integrate. Thank you.
Thank you.
Beautiful to have the connection. Thank you. And another one says, I agree. This is so powerful. So thank you so much. It's always a joy. I like now that things have shifted for you, I'm just like, wow, I'm really really, really loving the vibe and what you're creating in the world. So thank you very much for being here today.
Thank you. Thank you. Everybody have the most amazing and blessed day always. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye, everyone. Oh, wait, hold on. I should probably do my regular old, I gotta end with the proper. Bianca will get mad at me. So just a reminder, we've got one more day for Crazy Rich and Free to Be. We will be back tomorrow with 3 more callers. I know we've got Dr. T and Marina Beach, and I can't remember right now who's in the middle. So please join us for one more day. Again, if you ever need anything, you can always email us at team@houthustle.com. And we're just taking a little time to enjoy the woo. Have a wonderful